On day 1, I spawned into the Autumnal Valley as an itty-bitty baby Steve. Ah, this is no fun. Who wants to be a baby? I'm so small and weak. At least the valley was peaceful, and I was surrounded by adorable fluffy mystery sheep. They comforted me in my frightened baby state. Suddenly, a huge gold-plated bully walks towards me. Just seeing him made me feel nervous.
Well, looky here, if it isn't the new meat. A silly little baby, thinking he can just wander around the fields. But I'm Midas, and these are my fields, dork, and there are no babies allowed.
I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, mister. I didn't mean to trespass. My name's Zozo. I'm just trying to understand what's happening here.
Zozo? Nah, I'm gonna call you Bozo from now on. That's much more fitting for a silly little baby clown like you.
Why are you so mean?
'Cause when you're the strongest, you get to be mean, like this.
He fired an energy blast that vaporized all the mystery sheep around me. I was horrified by it all.
That's gonna happen to you too over the next 100 days, unless you get strong too. I'm gonna get you, Bozo!
I felt so mad about how he treated me, but I wasn't strong enough to fight back. All I could do was run away as fast as I could. I don't care what he says. I will get strong enough to stand up for myself in 100 days. On day 2, I continued running through the autumnal field and didn't stop until I was absolutely sure that Midas the bully wasn't somewhere behind me. Phew, that was a close one. I only have 5 hearts, so I can't afford to let someone as powerful as him get the jump on me like that. I still feel terrible for those mystery sheep though. My knees started to hurt from all the running, so I started crawling around. The Autumnal Valley didn't seem so sweet and peaceful anymore. To a little baby like me, everything seemed almost too scary to handle. I hope I can find someone around here who will agree to help me. But because I wasn't very lucky, I instead ran into a group of mean-looking skeleton jackals. Excuse me, guys, but would any of you be able to help a little baby like me? I'm lost and afraid. But the skeleton jackals just started laughing and laughing.
Oh, this is priceless. What a little baby dork. You must be Bozo. Midas told us all about you when he sent us out to look for the little lame-o who was trespassing in his valley.
What? You work for Midas the bully? But why? He's so mean.
Sure, he's mean, but if you side with the bully and help him bully others, then they won't bully you.
That's a terrible message. We should all stick up for each other.
Ha! Spoken like a true bozo. Let's get him, boys.
I had to run away again because there was no way I could take those guys on. It made me feel so weak and cowardly, but there was nothing else I could do. When I outran the skeleton jackals, I stopped in a clearing to cry. That's when a friendly pig wearing a crown approached me.
Are you all right there, little one?
No, I'm not. I've only been here for 2 days, and everyone is mean to me.
Oh, that's no good. I'm the King Pig, and I won't stand for any of that sort of rubbish in my kingdom. Come with me, little one.
Okay. So I followed the King Pig out of the Autumnal Valley. On day 3, the King Pig led me out into the Blue Taiga where there was a small school building.
Do not worry, little Zozo. This is the Blue Taiga School. It is a safe place for children, and a good friend of mine runs it.
I entered the school, and that good friend turned out to be the Water Elemental, the teacher who taught anyone passing through the Blue Taiga.
Good heavens, you poor thing! Look at you! I'm so sorry that some of the people you've met in the overworld have treated you poorly, Zozo. But I promise that you will always have a safe place here.
Thank you, Mr. Water Elemental. It was also very kind of the King Pig to bring me here. It makes me feel a whole lot better after my incident with Midas the bully and all his goons.
Midas, a truly nasty man. An ex-student of mine. Actually, I expelled him from the school years ago for bullying other students. As sad as I am to say it, I don't think he'll ever change.
What do you think I should do, teacher?
Honestly, little Zozo, I think the ultimate solution is to train hard enough that you're strong enough to defeat him, for the sake of everyone. There's a nice place called the Amaranth Fields near here. That might be a good spot to begin your work.
Thank you, Mr. Water Elemental. I won't let you down. So King Pig and I set off for the Amaranth Fields, ready to begin the process of taking Midas the bully down once and for all. From day 4 to day 5, King Pig and I arrived at the Amaranth Fields. There were enough wide open plains for it to be perfect to make a base. But first, I broke down a tree and made myself a crafting bench and a wooden pickaxe. Then mined into the ground for my first stone blocks. Now I'm feeling less like a baby already. I built myself a furnace, a stone pickaxe, and a stone sword. King Pig, Your Highness, is it alright for a baby to hold a sword?
It's okay with adult supervision, Zozo. And I'm 47.
Well, okay then. I continued mining and collecting stone and wood until I had enough to start building a basic base, with a room for me and a room for King Pig. It wasn't much, but it will be enough for now.
This base is looking good, Zozo. It's not quite fit for a king just yet, but you're getting there.
Then, a problem came up. A small swarm of golden devourers tried attacking my base, and I was forced to use my sword to fight them all off. Get out of here, you nasty little critters! I've had enough meanies this week. But when they were defeated, something amazing happened. I had enough XP to level up, becoming a slightly bigger baby with 20 hearts and the ability to crawl up walls. I guess it makes sense for a baby to be really good at crawling. From day 6 to day 8, given a little more confidence by my new power and new hearts, I decided to venture out to the mangrove marshes where I could hopefully learn more about being strong and tough. It seemed like a nice enough place until I saw an ancient Egyptian guy being attacked by a nasty bunch of sectoid soldiers. I couldn't let them get away with that. Don't worry, I'm here to help. Baby to the rescue! I pulled out my stone sword and ran in, defeating all the sectoid soldiers with the element of surprise. When I was done, it was just me and the ancient Egyptian left.
Thank you very much, my friend. I'm Seth. You saved my life just then.
Don't mention it, Seth. I'm Zozo, and I'm just trying to learn to be stronger, so any combat experience is helpful.
Well, in that case, we may be able to help each other. You see, Zozo, you may think this is bad, but there's a far worse pest problem out in the Cypress swampland. Think you can help me deal with it?
Of course! Lead the way, Seth! So Seth led the way, and I followed him. From day 9 to day 10, I followed Seth out into the Cypress swamplands, ready to take on whatever pest problem he was dealing with. I mean, it's only bugs. How scary can it really be? I changed my tune when I saw the pest that Seth was talking about. A giant, terrifying mummy scorpion! Okay, this may be a bit more challenging than I thought. While Seth stood back in the shadows, I pulled out my stone sword and ran into battle with the mummy scorpion. But my sword strikes didn't do any damage. But when the mummy scorpion hit back, it took off several hearts in one hit. I needed to get out of there as quickly as possible. I ran away from the angry mummy scorpion, yelling for my life, until I was out of there. Seth was waiting for me.
So, Zozo, did you manage to defeat the mummy scorpion?
I'm so sorry, Seth, but I'm still too much of a baby to defeat him. Want to come back to my base in the meantime? I'm sure we can get something figured out.
Thank you, Zozo. That's very kind of you. I'll follow you back.
And with that, we headed back towards my base in the Amaranth Fields. From day 11 to day 12, I arrived back at my base with Seth and immediately started working on adding an additional house for him to sleep in. Having 2 of my new friends here definitely makes me feel safer. After all, babies shouldn't be left alone for too long. Once I was done with Seth's room, he came over to me to share some exciting news.
Zozo, since you were so kind as to let me stay on your base with you, I took the liberty of building you a little upgrade. Come with me, I'll show you.
Oh, Seth, you really shouldn't have. That's just too kind of you. He led me over to a new room he'd created, a super cool storage area where we could keep gear, weapons, and supplies. This is awesome, Seth, thank you. This room is gonna come in so handy.
Perhaps more than you even know, Zozo. I've come to understand that Midas the bully is after you. Don't let the juvenile name fool you. He's an extremely dangerous fighter and magic user. To take him on, you're going to need the best weapons you can muster.
Feeling inspired by Seth's words of warning, I made my way to a deep cave not far from my base and started mining. There, I found some iron ore, which I took back to the furnace on my base and smelted into iron ingots. Before I knew it, I had an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. A baby with an iron sword. This is just crazy, but I guess I'll go with it. And of course, a sword is no good if you don't have supplies. That's why I made a paddock on my base and herded some mystery sheep into it. After all, you never know when you're gonna need the wool. From day 13 to day 15, I wasn't sure what I needed to do to get stronger, so I went to my oldest friend, King Pig. Your Majesty, I'm not sure how to get strong enough to defeat Midas the bully. I know I've got a better sword now, but I'm still a tiny, weak baby.
Well, one of the best ways to grow big and strong is to have a healthy diet, my boy. And for what it's worth, I've heard the delicious apples on the Dover Mountains have particularly special properties.
Then I'll head straight to the Dover Mountains. Thank you, King Pig. But the journey up and into the Dover Mountains wasn't easy. Thankfully, due to my climbing ability, I didn't fall, but it still took me a whole day just to get up there. And when I did, I noticed something terrible. There were apple trees, but no apples. Where could they have gone? That's when I turned and saw a massive skulk scorpion creeping towards me. Oh no, the scorpion must have eaten all the apples. It attacked me, and I needed to fend it off with my new iron sword. It was hard work for a little baby, but I still managed to defeat it. And when it went down, it dropped a special Dover Mountain apple. Time for a post-victory snack. When I ate the apple, I immediately started growing and becoming more powerful. I now had 50 hearts and the ability to quickly build walls. I'm one buff baby now! From day 16 to day 19, I wanted to go somewhere a little less challenging than the Dover Mountains, so I settled for the charming Evergreen Hills instead. Wow, the scenery here is lovely! If only I had a book to just sit around and read, this would be the perfect afternoon. And as if by magic, I ran into a book on the ground. I picked it up and saw that its title was The Tragedy of Midas. This sounds like an educational read. I started reading a passage that said, once, the one known as Midas was small and weak. He was picked on and grew to spite everyone around him. He got strong and grew his fortune, covering himself in gold. He then became a bully himself, just like the ones who bullied him. But my reading was interrupted by a gang of Midas the Bully's skeleton jackals that came towards me.
Look at that nerd! Reading! How'd you like that book, bozo? Is it teaching you how to be less lame?
Oh, it's teaching me that your boss is even more small and insecure than I thought.
Hey, nobody gets to talk about Midas that way. He's the #1 bully around here. Let's get him, boys.
The skeleton jackals attacked me, but this time I wasn't going to run away. With my iron sword, I took them on and defeated every last one of them. When I'm done, their #1 bully is gonna be the world's biggest zero. From day 20 to day 22, while wandering back towards my base in the Amaranth Fields, I was attacked by a group of feral swamp spiders. Thankfully, I was able to defeat them easily with how strong I was getting now. No spider is tough enough to defeat Zozo, even as a little baby. After defeating the swamp spiders, I returned to the deep cave near my base, where I mined some more iron ore. I took it back to my base and used the furnace to smelt it. Then I crafted it into a full set of iron armor. Gotta stay safe out there. With my new sword and my new armor, and with the knowledge that I'd already beaten a skulk scorpion, I went all the way back to the Cypress Swamplands to settle an old score, defeating the mummy scorpion. He won't chase me away this time. I tracked down the mummy scorpion, and this time I defeated him easily. I felt on top of the world, knowing Seth was going to be so proud of me, until Midas the bully himself stepped out of the trees.
Feel like a big man for wasting some goofy spider, huh, bozo? You're still just a tiny little baby to me.
Midas, why don't you come over here and fight me, rather than just calling me mean names?
Fight you? Kid, I'd squish you like a bug. And believe me, I will someday, but not yet. I want you to become more of a challenge first. Later, bozo.
Midas ran away before I could say another word to him. From day 23 to day 26, I returned to my base, feeling upset for my encounter with Midas, but proud of myself for finally defeating the mummy scorpion. I approached Seth with the good news. Seth, I defeated the mummy scorpion. The Cypress Swamplands are now clear of monsters.
That's fantastic, Zozo. Thank you so much. I'm going to do something to repay you for this. Stay tuned.
While Seth went to work on some mysterious project, I decided it was now time to improve my sword. I repaired it and applied the Fire Aspect enchantment, giving my sword a fiery power boost. Once the upgrade on my awesome sword was done, Seth came and led me over to his gift. He'd built a secret underground safe room under the base.
Now, if anyone attacks and they're too strong to fight off, we can hide down here and we'll be safe until they leave.
This is an amazing upgrade, Seth, and hopefully we'll never need to use it. From day 27 to day 31, I went back out to the Evergreen Hills where I'd defeated those evil skeleton jackals before, hoping to find something else of use there. Instead, I found a small group of sky lizards sitting around, looking relieved.
You! Are you the one they call, Bozo?
It's Zozo, actually.
Well, Zozo, we wanted to thank you. We heard that you destroyed a group of skeleton jackals here, and those skeleton jackals had been hassling us for years. We just wanted to say thank you.
No problem. I just wanted to do the right thing. I'm glad everything is okay now.
Well, not exactly everything is okay. We've been hassled by other creatures and monsters too. It's hard to live out here.
Then why don't you come live with me for a while? At least until I've defeated Midas the bully.
Thank you, Zozo. We'll head over there immediately.
I went back to the base too and decided to get some much-needed rest by sitting down on a nearby hill and enjoying the view of my base. Just as I was standing back and appreciating my hard work, King Pig ran over to me in a panic.
Zozo, we need to go to the Blue Tiger School immediately. Something terrible is happening.
From day 32 to day 35, King Pig and I ran to the Blue Tiger School as fast as we could, but it may have already been too late. The Blue Tiger School was under attack from a swarm of skeleton jackals sent directly by Midas the bully. Oh no, we need to stop them. I ran in to help, attacking the different skeleton jackals, but I couldn't save the water elemental. He was destroyed in the confusion. No, water elemental! I went into full rage mode after that, taking out every single one of the skeleton jackals. But even though they were gone, there was no bringing back the water elemental. I'm sorry, King Pig, we lost him.
This is a truly terrible day, Zozo.
From day 36 to day 39, I went back to the mangrove marshes. I needed to be alone and clear my head. I still felt so guilty about not being able to save the water elemental. But then, as I was traveling through the marshes, I happened upon an air elemental, and he looked like he needed help. He reminded me of my old elemental friend, so I really wanted to see if I could help out.
I've lived in these marshes for years, but recently a bubble monster moved in, and it's been ruining everything. I may need your help to stop it, Zozo.
Of course, Air Elemental. I'll go see what I can do. I ran deeper into the marshes, excited by the thought that I might be able to do a good deed and make a difference. I'm coming for you, bubble monster. When I found the beast, it didn't take long to defeat, especially with the fire aspect enchantment on my sword. Once this dirty bubble was defeated, I ran back to the air elemental as fast as I could.
You have done me a great kindness, Zozo. In return, I will give you one cryptic clue. Midas lurks in a forgotten place.
And with that, the air elemental disappeared. And he was right. That was a very cryptic clue. From day 40 to day 43, I returned to my base and found that King Pig had made an amazing improvement to my base. A statue of the water elemental, so we would always remember him. That was so kind of you, King Pig. If the water elemental was here, he'd really appreciate this.
Thank you, Zozo. Also, I was wondering if I could ask a favor. My friends, the gold pigs, need to leave my kingdom for a while to be safe from Midas. Can they stay here until we've defeated him?
Of course they can. Call them over whenever you're ready, Your Majesty. And he did. A day later, a group of gold pigs arrived and came to stay in the new house that King Pig had created for them. So many people live here now. It makes me feel so safe. Speaking of people who lived in my base now, one of the sky lizards ran over to me with some exciting news.
Zozo, you must head to the flowering ancient forest at once. We believe that Midas the bully is already there.
From day 44 to day 49, I followed the tip from the sky lizard and traveled to the flowering ancient forest to find Midas the bully. As I was looking for him, Midas himself jumped out from behind a tree.
Well, if it isn't Bozo! What's up, little clown?
I'm not a clown, and you know my name is Zozo. You've been pushing everyone around for too long. We'll see how funny you think it is when I finally stop you from bullying everyone.
Yeah? Good luck with that, clown. You see my gold armor? No one can get me when I'm wearing this. And once I've got my hands on all the gold, no one will ever be able to stand up to me.
All the gold? You're just going to steal it?
I'm gonna make everyone so afraid of me that they'll just hand it over like the sad little cowards they are.
That's terrible.
Too bad, so sad. Anyway, wish I could stick around to kick your butt, but that would be a waste of my time. I'll have my buddy here do it instead. Come on out, Horace.
Who's Horace?
Me.
Horace appeared out of nowhere, and Midas ran off. Uh-oh, this guy seems pretty strong. I knew I was in for a tough fight. From day 50 to day 53, I started my battle against Horace in the flowering ancient forest. He was a lot more powerful than I expected, but I was still holding my own.
Had enough yet, bozo?
No way, I'm not backing down.
Then I guess I'll just have to make you.
He hit me hard, knocking me back, and I almost fell over. But I got my balance back and came back at him just as hard. The fire aspect enchantment on my sword helped me finally defeat him, and I took a second to catch my breath. That was a close one. Hey, what's that? Looks like he dropped something. There was a baseball bat on the ground. I've heard these can freeze mobs for a couple of seconds. This is gonna be super useful. I also spotted a part of a book. Hey, this looks like a page from a diary. It says Midas on it.
Dear Diary, I sure hope no one finds out the reason I wear all of this armor. I'm not a very good fighter. I'm just good at dodging and taking lots of damage. If someone found a way to freeze me or damage my armor, I'd be in big trouble. Good thing I'll never tell anyone my secret.
Oh boy, I'm glad I found this. From day 54 to day 57, I got ready to head back to my base. But as I was preparing to leave the flowering ancient forest, an ender creeper ambushed me. Ah, you get out of here! Don't blow up on me! I used my new bat to freeze the ender creeper for a few seconds, giving me plenty of time to defeat it before it could explode. This bat is pretty awesome! When I beat it, the ender creeper dropped a potion of strength. I picked it up. Great! I can take this back to my base. With my new bat and my potion of strength, I headed back to my base to tell my friends all about it. I found the sky lizard waiting for me there.
Hi, Zozo. How did it go?
I couldn't defeat Midas yet, but I got this bat and this potion, and I learned some new information that I think will help.
That's great news.
From day 58 to day 62, I decided to take time to make some improvements to my base. I expanded my paddock to make room for more sheep. We're gonna have so much wool! Sweaters for everyone, or whatever else we can make with it. Speaking of which, come here, little sheep. Let's give you a haircut. I harvested some wool from the mystery sheep. When I was done with that, I decided to keep the resource gathering train going. I headed down into the mines in the deep cave and started digging. Phew, mining sure is hard work, but it's worth it. As soon as I said that, I found some diamonds. I gathered them and brought them back to my base. I was able to use the diamonds to craft a diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. I'm making great progress. Look out, Midas. We'll see how your gold does against my diamonds. One of the sky lizards came up to me as I finished crafting my diamond gear.
Zozo, come look. I added some more bedrooms to the base, in case any more friends need to come and stay here.
I followed him and saw all the rooms he had added onto the base. Wow, this must have taken ages. Thank you so much. Anyone who needs a safe place to hide from Midas the bully can come here now. With the help of my friends, even though I'm a baby, I feel big and strong. From day 63 to day 66, Seth approached me at the base.
Zozo, I have information about where Midas might have gone. I heard he likes to stomp on flowers, big meanie that he is. Is there anywhere with lots of pretty flowers he might have gone to?
I don't know.
Wait a second, maybe you should check the flowering enchanted forest.
I traveled to the flowering enchanted forest and kept my eyes peeled for the glint of gold that meant Midas the bully was hiding there. I didn't see Midas, but I did see a fire elemental running right at me.
Zozo, is that you?
Oh geez, no, it's Zozo! I grabbed my sword. I guess you're here to fight me for Midas, huh?
What? No, I'd never work for that guy. I heard you were someone to go to for help. I need help getting this ghost miner to leave me and my family alone. He's trying to kick us out of our house and wants us to give him all of our gold.
That's despicable! He must be working for Midas. Don't worry, I'll see what I can do. From day 67 to day 70, I followed the fire elemental to his house. Sure enough, there was a ghost miner trying to break down one of the walls. Looks like my grandma is still inside. Hurry, please! Hold on, Granny Fire Elemental, I'm coming! I got my sword ready and rushed towards the ghost miner. He was chipping away at the wall of the house, but when he saw me coming, he stopped and turned his focus on me. He was strong, definitely the strongest enemy I'd fought so far, but I still managed to finally defeat him. It's safe now. No one will try to destroy your home again. Thank you, Bozo. I'll never forget what you did for us today. No problem. My name is Zozo, though. Could you spread the word? Midas the bully started calling me the wrong name, and I really don't want it to stick. I may be a baby, but I'm no clown. You got it. It's the least I can do. If you ever need a fire elemental, you know where to find me. Or you can just come over for dinner sometime. Yum! Sounds like a plan. From day 71 to day 74, I kept exploring the flowering enchanted forest, keeping an eye out for smushed flowers. I know if I see something that's messed up, Midas can't be far. As I walked, taking in the beautiful scenery, a bee came buzzing by me. Hello, little bee.
Hello, Zozo. Say, if you're enjoying this adventure and want to see more, make sure to subscribe and find other adventures by searching ZOZO. Anyway, I've got to buzz off. Bye!
Thanks for the tip, Bee. Now, back to searching for that bully.
Talking about me, bozo?
I could see Midas just up ahead of me, stomping on a flower. Why would you destroy something so pretty? These flowers aren't hurting anyone.
Flowers are for losers and dweebs. Who needs them? You probably love flowers, don't you, bozo? I could stomp on you just like these flowers. You're just as weak.
No, I'm not. I'm getting stronger all the time.
Huh, oh yeah? You think you're strong enough to fight me?
I tried to get my bat so I could freeze him for a few seconds, but I wasn't quick enough. He rushed at me and overwhelmed me. I had to run. I ran to a safer place and stopped to collect my thoughts. Next time I'll be ready. Next time I'll be stronger.
That's right. You better run.
From day 75 to day 78, I returned to my base, feeling pretty down about the fight with Midas. All I wanted to do was lie down and take a nap, but I couldn't even fall asleep. I can't believe I had to run away. After I talked all that talk about being stronger, I still wasn't strong enough to take Midas on. Maybe he's right. Maybe I am just a silly little clown baby. I'll never win.
Knock, knock. Can I come in?
Sure, go ahead.
I thought you might want to see some improvements I've made to the base. Come on, take a look.
Okay, I'll check it out. While I was gone, King Pig had added a bunch of decorative lanterns to the base. It made the whole place look way nicer, and even though I was still bummed out, it definitely cheered me up. This is really nice and calming in a way. One of the sky lizards came running over to me.
Zozo! Zozo! Look what I found! It's a potion. I think it'll make you stronger. Try it and see what happens.
Sure, I might as well. I drank the potion, and to my surprise, I felt myself getting bigger and stronger. I was growing up. My heart's increased to 100. Thank you. I feel so much better now. I had a tough time before, but I just know I'll be able to take down Midas soon. From day 79 to day 84, I decided to take my new confidence back to the flowering enchanted forest to see if Midas was still there. This time, I'll show him. He'll see that I'm not a clown at all, and he can't pick on me anymore. I looked all around, but I couldn't see Midas anywhere. I saw some sectoid guards though, and I was able to test out my new strength by fighting them off. It was much easier than fighting the sectoid soldiers from before. I'm definitely getting better at this. When I finished battling the sectoid guards, a rich mummy came to me.
Say, old chap, that was impressive. Tell me, how did you become such a talented fighter?
Lots of practice, some special potions, and the support of my friends.
Righto! Splendid work, my lad. A warrior of your caliber deserves the finest quality armor. Why, I have just the thing. I don't have any use for it myself. I have so much wealth already. Please, take this netherite helmet and put it to good use.
Really? Thank you so much.
No trouble at all, old sport. Give that wretched bully Midas what for. Ta-ta!
After giving me the helmet, the rich mummy ran away and disappeared. What a weird guy, but this is a really nice gift. It'll help protect me the next time I see Midas. From day 85 to day 89, I returned to my base, only to find that more of Midas the Bully's skeleton jackals were attacking my base, trying to break down the structures. Hey, me and my friends worked hard on those. How dare you?
Oh, this was your house? We thought it was just a big pile of trash someone left in the field. It'll probably look better once we're done.
You big jerks! I'm not gonna take that! In my pure anger at being attacked like this, I went into a rage frenzy and started knocking them out one by one. But some of them managed to escape during the chaos. I knocked out the remaining ones and decided to give chase. Chasing them outside of my base, I noticed that I wasn't fast enough to catch up. During my chase, I suddenly saw a lone saber-toothed pig just standing around in the field and crying. What's wrong, saber-toothed pig?
Those big, mean skeleton jackals came through here, and they called me ugly. And now I feel horrible about myself.
Oh no, that isn't fair. For what it's worth, as saber-toothed pigs go, I think you have a certain handsome charm. But at the end of the day, it's what's on the inside that counts. The only truly ugly thing is to be mean to people.
You're right, Zozo. Thank you. That made me feel a lot better.
No problem. And if you'll excuse me, I need to chase those meanies down.
Go get 'em, Zozo!
From day 90 to day 94, I chased the gang of skeleton jackals into the Forgotten Forest. Eventually, we found a dead end. I had them backed into a corner. Ready to face the consequences of your bullying ways, skeleton jackals? But they just started laughing at me.
You fool! You fell right into our trap! You think we're nasty? Meet Midas's best friend. He's gonna get all the gold now!
A huge, buff pigless walked in and the skeleton jackals ran off. He must have been Midas's best friend, and it was certainly scary to be standing in front of him. You can leave now, there's no need to fight. But Pigless didn't seem to listen to me, so I walked in and hit him with my baseball bat. He wasn't even affected. This is gonna be a tough one. From day 95 to day 97, the real fight between me and that huge, buff Pigless began. Every hit from him took down my hearts massively. I was lucky that I had 100 of them, or I would have been doomed. I kept hitting him with my diamond sword until the Pigless was finally defeated. And when he went down, he dropped a book I never expected to see. It was marked The Diary of Midas. Wow, another extract from Midas's diary. Pigless must have really been Midas's best friend if he trusted the guy to carry his diary. Of course, I opened up the diary and started reading, and I didn't believe what I was seeing inside. It said,
Another day trying to get rid of Zozo. I feel like I'm so anxious all the time. It's so difficult to pretend to be big and tough all the time, but it's the only way people will respect you. Zozo, he seems like he's actually strong, and people like him too. I need to get rid of him quickly, or I think he might actually defeat me.
I was blown away by what I'd read. So deep down, Midas is the most scared and insecure of all. And he's afraid that I'll defeat him. If he believes I can, then I believe I can too. I ran back to my base, ready to make the final preparations. I was gonna take down Midas. On day 98, I came back to my base, feeling more motivated than ever to complete my quest and end the reign of the overworld's #1 bully once and for all. King Pig, Sky Lizard, and Seth gathered up around me, ready to see me off. It's time, everyone. I'm going to Midas's base to defeat him once and for all, and free the land from fear and bullying.
Hear, hear, Zozo. You've always looked out for us, and I'm proud of you for seeing this through all the way. You're a true hero for doing this.
I agree. Ever since you first saved me from those sectoids and helped me defeat that mummy scorpion, I knew you had it in you to save the world. You've got a hero spirit, and you can do this.
But I don't want to send you into the lion's den. Let me come and help you, Zozo. You shouldn't have to do this alone.
It's okay, King Pig. I'm gonna do this myself. Knowing all of you believe in me is enough. On day 99, I made my way across the Dover Mountains, psyching myself up for the final battle against the bully who'd been hassling me for 99 days. I can't wait for this to finally be over, so me and my friends can all relax. On my way there, I ran into a yak who was casually grazing. Wish me luck, Mr. Yak. I'm on my way to defeat a major bully.
Good luck. Hope you don't get your butt kicked.
I kept going until I saw the last thing I wanted to see. A big gang of Midas's skeleton jackals ready to fight. Oh no, even I might be outnumbered here.
Think again!
I turned and saw that King Pig had been following me the whole time. King Pig, why are you here?
Because you need me, clearly! You've helped me a lot since you've come here, Zozo. Now it's time for me to help you. I'll distract all these nasty skeleton jackals. You go take down that big bully.
You're the best, King Pig. Let's do this! On day 100, I entered Midas the Bully's lair by using my wall climbing abilities to get in past the walls. All that gold he's taken, you'd think he'd have invested in some better security. When I went in, Midas was the only one there. He seemed shocked to see me.
What? This is impossible! I sent out all my skeleton jackals to stop you. How could you have gotten past them?
Because I still have friends, unlike some people around here.
Big talk for such a little baby, bozo.
I may be a baby, Midas, but I'm not a coward. I know the truth. Pigless was carrying your diary, and I read it. You're afraid of me. You're afraid of everything. And rather than confront that, you're mean to everyone around you. I'm giving you one last chance to be better.
You read my diary? Oh, for that I'm gonna pound you, you nasty little baby. This is the end.
Well, I can't say I didn't give you a chance. Midas fired an energy blast at me, but I used my quick building skills to build a wall between me and the blast. Now it was time to fight back. I chugged down the potion of strength I received earlier. There was no way he could stop me now. I ran out from behind the wall and took Midas by surprise and bumped him with my bat. Before Midas could stop me, I hit him again and again and again, cutting through his golden armor until the last strike defeated him for good. That's what you get for being a bully. And with Midas gone, the overworld was free to have fun once again. On day 1, I spawned in as a land shark, the most awesome carnivore ever. I'm a real fish out of water. I've got 9 hearts from the start because sharks are naturally born tough. And even though I'm tiny, I still have a bite. Looking around, I saw that my starting area was a desert, or should I say, a sea of sand. But there aren't any other sea creatures anywhere. I wanted to go find some fish to eat, so I started swimming through the land in search of a nice meal. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. I eventually ran into another animal, but it was a tarantula. I heard that they were poisonous, so I didn't want to eat it, but it definitely wanted to eat me. That's no way to treat the top of a food chain. Wait, am I even at the top of a food chain? I swam away from the tarantula and soon discovered that I had the ability to dive inside of sand blocks to hide. I stayed under the desert's surface until the tarantula got bored of looking for me and moved on. Then I popped back up out of the sand. I didn't expect other things would try to eat me today. While I was thinking, a coyote tried to snack on me too. It took off a few hearts, but this time I fought back. As I expected, my bite packed a real wallop. I celebrated my win by chowing down on some coyote meat. It wasn't that tasty, but at least it kept my hunger meter full. I'd look for something better to eat tomorrow. Until then, I'd take shelter inside of a sand dune. On day 2, I resurfaced and went on to explore the desert in search of materials. At a nearby oasis, there was a grove of palm trees. I bit a few of them down and collected the wood they dropped. Ugh, that tasted gross. This is why I need tools in the first place. I got sick of biting trees pretty quickly, so I crafted a wooden axe to cut down enough of the remaining trees that I could make a complete set of wooden tools. While I was chopping, an octopus fell down from one of the trees. That was definitely the last place I expected an octopus to be. But then again, I was a land shark.
What's the big idea? Can't a guy hide in a tree peacefully without getting knocked down?
Sorry, buddy. I had no idea you were up there. What is an octopus doing in a tree anyway?
It's not safe to wander out in the open out here. There are huge spiders everywhere, and they're looking for me.
I thought spiders and octopuses got along. You have so much in common, like having 8 limbs and... that's about it.
We most certainly don't get along. And I suggest you find a place to hide too. The spiders out here are looking for sharks too. Sharks like you.
So they were hunting me. But why?
I've said enough. I need to find a new place to hide. Good luck.
The octopus ran away, but not before dropping some healing potions. He must have been prepared for the worst. I felt a little bad about taking them, but if he hid well enough, he wouldn't be needing them. On day 3, I decided to make the desert oasis into my base. I may have been able to swim on land, but having a source of drinking water around was never a bad idea. So I started chopping away at the rest of the palm trees to clear out an area where I could create my own personal retreat. Suddenly, a wild emu came bounding across the desert towards me. It was surprisingly fast and aggressive, but I was hungry, so that didn't stop me from taking a bite. The bird's attacks did a bunch of damage, so I was grateful for my higher starting health. Emus are trouble. If only I had heavy artillery. A couple bites later, and the emu was defeated. It also dropped a delicious golden drumstick. That looks yummy. I gobbled up the drumstick and felt myself begin to change. I became a bigger shark, and my bite damage increased to be as strong as an iron sword. My already great number of hearts also increased to 17. I tried my ability to dive into land on the grass blocks and found that I could now dive into those too. I bet this works on all kinds of blocks now. Now I can explore the terrain safely. I spent the rest of the day constructing my resort. It was made out of the palms I chopped down earlier. I also added a room for myself. To protect myself from mobs, I decided to also include a fence that surrounded the entire resort. On days 4 to 5, I went out to catch some rabbits to keep at the base for a steady food supply. I was a carnivore after all. I spotted some hanging around by some cacti, but a tarantula scared them away. Didn't the octopus say that those tarantulas were looking for me? I decided to get to the bottom of this and confront the spider directly. I hid and waited until he got close, and then I popped out of the ground to ambush him. I gave him one bite to show him I meant business, and then I gave him a piece of my mind. Hey, what do you want with us sea creatures anyway? The tarantula was startled by my ambush, but chuckled like he was remembering a secret.
You'll find out soon enough, Taste Shark. Sous Chef has promised us tarantulas a bowl of her famous soup if we bring a land shark to her.
Sous Chef? Who is that?
You mean you don't know? She's only the fanciest and most renowned chef in the entire world. Her seafood cuisine is legendary, and very soon you are going to become a part of it.
But I'm not a seafood. I'm a land shark.
Then let's see if your flavor is the same.
The tarantula struck back with a bite attack that left me poisoned. I was taking gradual damage to my hearts from the after effects. That's one lousy status condition. I need to finish this quickly. My enhanced bite did the trick. A couple of those were too much for the tarantula, and he was no more. That's what you get for poisoning me. Even after the fight was over, I was still affected by the lingering poison damage, but thankfully, I had enough hearts remaining to wait for it to wear off. The total was way more damage than I was expecting. I even had to use a couple of healing potions I got from the octopus. I was lucky I took that tarantula by surprise. If he had ambushed me instead, that could have been it. I returned to the base to wait for my heart meter to regenerate. On days 6 to 8, I searched a nearby forest for some materials to craft an antidote to tarantula poison. I had a feeling that yesterday wouldn't be my last tango with those spiders, and I wanted to be prepared for next time. I found a patch of some plants with healing properties, which I could use to replenish my potions, but they wouldn't be able to neutralize the poison itself. I don't like it, but I think I need to capture a tarantula and study the poison. After that, I started flopping my way back over to the desert I'd made my home. I made my way across the dunes until I saw a tarantula, then I dove under the sand to hide. It didn't seem to notice me, so I waited for an opportunity to strike. But just then, another mob swooped out of the sky and attacked the tarantula. Whoa, what is that thing? It was a tarantula hawk, the tarantula's natural predator. It looked really tough, but it was distracted because it was fighting the tarantula. I emerged from the sand and took the tarantula hawk by surprise. The fight was won before it even began. Sharks are problem solvers. The tarantula hawk dropped something that would solve my poison problem, a rare poison resistance potion. I ate the whole thing in one bite. Hooray! With this, I won't take any extra damage from the tarantula venom. On days 9 to 10, I explored some nearby hills, which I could mine for stone and other sturdy blocks that couldn't be found in the desert. I had fun trying out my dive ability on a bunch of different surfaces. While I was diving, I fell into an area where a lot of carrot plants were growing. I'm going to take these and replant them at my base. Those rabbits will have to eat something before I eat them. As I was pulling up carrots, I felt like someone was behind me and turned around. It was a girl. She was dressed as a chef and carrying a really big knife. I hoped it wasn't who I thought it was.
I, sous chef, have found myself another shark, and I thought the only ingredients out here were carrots.
Oh no, it's exactly who I thought it was. See ya.
Wait, come back. Hey, Sharky.
Even though I was bigger, I was still just a fish. And a fish doesn't pick a fight with a chef. It never ends well. I swam as fast as I could until I lost her, and then I dove into the stone. For some reason, it was trickier this time. That's when I realized there was another shark trying to hide. Unlike me, this guy was a hammerhead shark. I bet building stuff is really easy for him.
Boy, am I glad to meet you. I thought I was the only shark left.
So did I. If you don't mind me asking, do you know where all the other sharks went?
That sous chef you just saw has been rounding up our kind and turning us into soup for her restaurant.
Soup? Oh no, I hate soup. And I'd hate being in it even more. She must be stopped. On days 11 to 12, my new hammerhead friend and I went back to my base. I made him his own room to make him feel right at home at my aquatic animals resort. Because stairs are really difficult to climb for finned boys like us, I decided to build in some pillars that we could use to swim up and down between levels. I was out getting more material when I was attacked by a giant snake. Let's hope my poison resistance works against snake venom too. The second it sunk its fangs into me, I was badly poisoned. My hearts were reducing quickly, so I ran back to base and started working on a new way to counter the venom. I knew that honey could help with curing poison, so I went and found a hive of desert bees, which I carefully transported to a safe location near my base. Now I have all the honey I need to avoid getting sick. I went back to fight the giant snake, and thanks to the honey and my healing potions, I was able to outlast it in a battle of bites. The snake dropped a rattle when it was defeated, and I had a feeling this was the key to building my poison resistance. I combined the rattle with some of the flowers and honey I had collected earlier and crafted an extra strength poison resistance potion. I drank it immediately. I'll bet I can become immune to all poisons if I keep making potions like these. On days 13 to 15, I was fast asleep in my shark bed when I remembered something from long ago, before I was even a baby land shark. It must have been a memory from a distant land shark ancestor. Back then, all of us land sharks swam through the desert together in a big group, or a shiver of sharks. There was always plenty to eat, and we always shared with each other. But one day, an army of tarantulas showed up and started capturing the sharks in their sticky spider webs. They dragged my ancestors to a huge cooking pot where sous chef was waiting.
Très bien. With this latest haul, I'll have shark fin soup to serve in my restaurant for years to come.
She was talking to an even bigger spider next to her, who appeared to be calling the shots for the tarantulas.
Boss, when do we get some of the soup?
You'll wait your turn. The other humans will get to sample my cooking first. Then maybe your spiders can have a chance.
Okay. Whatever you say, boss.
Now, let's get cooking.
I woke up from that terrible nightmare before I saw all the land sharks go into the cooking pot. That would have been far too scary for me, no matter how tough of a shark I was. How horrible! Now I know why there are so few of us land sharks left in the world. If sous chef had an army of spiders at her command, maybe it would be better for Hammerhead and I to keep ourselves hidden instead of going after her. On days 16 to 19, I was searching around the base for Hammerhead and couldn't find him. Hey Hammerhead, where are you? Are we playing hide and seek? There was a note left on my crafting table, so I read it.
Dear Zozo, I'm going hunting for some more food. If I don't come back before tomorrow, it probably means that I'm in trouble. Please come looking for me. You're the only friend I have in this world.
So that's where he is. He's in trouble. It had been at least a day since the last time I saw him, so going to look for him would be a good idea. I decided to go find my way to this trouble place he mentioned. Sure enough, it turned out to be a town for bandits and outlaws to the west of the desert. This place sure does look like trouble, but if my friend's here, I can't leave until I found him.
Hey, Zozo!
Hammerhead! You were easier to find than I thought.
I said I was in trouble, and here I am. Let's go drink some milk at one of these saloons. I'm paying.
We walked inside one of the saloons and saw that there was a fight breaking out between some bandits. It seemed like a group of them were ganging up on one guy. Hey, that's not fair! Leave him alone!
Sharks!
The bandits screamed and ran away. I guess the sight of a big shark and his hammerhead friend was all it took to scare them off.
Thanks for the help, fellow sharks.
Huh? You're not a shark, you're a human.
That's where you're wrong. I'm a card shark, the slickest card player in the West. Here, have this crown as thanks for saving me.
As soon as I put on that crown, I grew up again and had 22 hearts. I also gained a pretty sweet dash attack. Thanks, card shark.
Did you both come to trouble to hide from sous chef? I do know a rumor that you might want to hear.
Are we sure we should trust this guy?
Let's hear him out before we judge him.
There's a legendary poisonous spice called the chef bane, which is said to ruin a cooking pot forever. If you sprinkled some of that stuff in her soup, she'd be forced to give up cooking. Then all the sharks would be safe.
Wow, and you're really telling the truth?
Trust me, kid, I know a thing or two.
Even though it had seemed hopeless before, I now believed that there was a way to stop Sous Chef for good. All I had to do was find that chef bane. On days 20 to 22, Hammerhead and I returned to our base and found it under attack by those same bandits we scared away in trouble. This time though, there was a whole lot more of them, and they were throwing dynamite.
This will teach you nasty sharks not to mess with us bandits.
Oh yeah? Well, we're gonna teach you nasty bandits not to mess with us sharks. Right, Hammer?
Right.
Hammerhead and I worked together and took on the bandits as a team. We fought hard against the crooks, but our teamwork was too much for them, and we took them out. I was feeling so inspired by our teamwork that I had an idea. I should add a statue to the base. Things were coming along nicely, and I made some good progress on the first part. You can sort of see what it might be. I'd need to add some blue materials to get the statue's color palette just right, so I started mining to see if I could find any lapis. It would be a long way down, but I had to start somewhere. Once I gathered some stone, I decided it was time to upgrade my pickaxe. So I returned back to the base, where I crafted a stone pickaxe, which would help me mine much more efficiently. And if you want to be more efficient in finding my videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you can find my channel easier. On days 23 to 26, Hammerhead and I teamed up again when our base was attacked by some super tough rock mobs. Uh-oh, those look like straddlers. We were able to defeat them, but their skin was so tough that a bunch of our teeth fell out.
Jojo, my teeth fell out.
Don't panic, friend. They'll grow back. As for the ones that fell out, I decided to craft a bow and make the lost teeth into shark tooth arrows. Time to go spider hunting. I hid in the desert with my dive ability and waited for some tarantulas to pass by. And when they least expected it, I jumped out and sniped all of them before they could even react. Now I can gather all the venom they dropped and make myself even more resistant to poison. I went back to the base and did just that. I had just enough time to drink another poison resistance potion before I heard someone outside asking if anyone was home. I answered it and saw that there was a frilled shark at the door.
Pardon me, is this arrow yours? I found it while I was hiding in the desert.
Yes, it is. Thanks for returning it.
Also, would you mind if I stayed here? I've got no home and there's a chef looking for me.
Of course you can. That same chef is looking for my friend and I too. We'll be safer if we stick together. I then added another floor to the base to make sure that frilled shark felt right at home. Then I added some guard towers next to the fence to make spotting incoming enemies easier. On days 27 to 31, I went back to the town of Trouble so I could get some more information out of the card shark. He was willing to do it, but only for a price.
I'll sell you this enchanted cookbook for some of your teeth. It'll tell you where you might find all sorts of ingredients, including the chef bane.
Just my teeth? You've got a deal, mister. I gave him a full set of shark teeth. In exchange, he gave me the cookbook. I opened it up and saw that one of the first locations listed inside was the Great Pyramid of Pizza. It appeared to be some kind of restaurant for rich mummies. I had a good feeling about what I could find there, so I swam off to the part of the sand sea where it could be found. When I arrived, I saw that the entrance to the Great Pyramid was guarded by a crypt keeper. He was standing next to a sign that said, "No sharks allowed." Yeah, that's not gonna stop me. I fired some arrows from a distance to draw him away from the door. Then I dove beneath the sand so he wouldn't know where I was. When the crypt keeper was looking around confused, I sprung up from the sand and gave him a big bite. He hit me before running back towards the door, but with my dash attack, I was able to bite him again and get inside the pyramid before he could stop me. He tried to follow me in, but I dove into the pyramid blocks and disappeared. He eventually gave up and returned to guarding the entrance. On days 32 to 35, I entered the grand dining hall where the mummies were being served their pizza. I used my diving ability to sneakily make my way around the room. I was hiding under a table when I saw a flying fish on a platter. It looked like he was being served so raw that he was still alive. I decided to ask him if he knew anything. Excuse me, do you know anything about a spice called chef bane?
Yep, I've heard of it. Sure wish I had some of it right now, so I wouldn't get eaten.
Do you know where I can find some?
Quiet down. The celebrity chef is about to make her appearance.
Celebrity chef? Oh no! Sous Chef entered the dining hall and rang a bell to call everyone to attention. She had tarantula bodyguards with her.
Attention diners, I am Sous Chef, and I will be your celebrity chef this evening. Our special is
She looked down and saw me under the table.
Shark soup! Get that rotten shark!
Yikes! Sous Chef and her tarantulas ran towards me, so I used a dash attack to catch her off guard. She struck back with her cooking knife and sliced away most of my hearts. I would be sashimi if I took another hit like that, so I decided to improvise. Actually, tonight's special is tarantula salad. The mummies hungrily turned towards the tarantula bodyguards and started to attack them.
No, it didn't! Stop this!
I made a break for the exit. I hate to dine and dash, but this time I had to. While I was on my way out, the flying fish flew after me.
Wait, take me with you. I'm a carnivore too.
That's good enough for me. Welcome to the team, Mr. Flying Fish. On days 36 to 39, I convinced the others to let the flying fish stay inside of our base with us. What do you say, fellow sharks?
I thought this base was only for sharks who are hiding from the chef.
He's a fish, and we're sharks. Won't he be afraid of us?
It's fine. He can eat the rabbits we've been farming, and we have plenty for all of us. Once that was settled, I went to my room and consulted the enchanted cookbook that I got from the card shark in order to search for a new location to travel to in my search for Chef's Bane. Let's see here. The Great Pyramid of Pizza was a dead end. Oh, maybe I'll have better luck in the Marshmallow Swamp. Me and Hammerhead then proceeded to do some more work on the statue. The design was really starting to come together, thanks to the lapis lazuli I had been mining. On days 40 to 43, I was on my way to the Marshmallow Swamp when I thought I saw another land shark nearby. Hello there, my name is Zozo. Do you need a place to hide? The mob that I thought was a shark turned around and I realized that he was actually a dolphin. A land dolphin.
I'm good, thanks. I was just in the area looking for a heart of the sea. It's a kind of treasure usually found in the ocean, but for some reason, they can also be found on land in this place. It's pretty odd,
said the land dolphin to the land shark.
Point is that I did find a treasure chest with a heart of the sea inside, but there was a terrifying mantis shrimp guarding it, so I chickened out. They're all yours if you're brave enough.
Thanks for the info, Dolphin. Best of luck in your travels. I went to the place where the dolphin said he found the chest, and sure enough, the mantis shrimp was right there. Mantis shrimps were known for their lightning-fast attacks, so I knew that I had to rely on my toughness. I launched a few arrows before dashing into battle and biting away. The mantis shrimp knocked me back with a powerful strike, which did 5 hearts worth of damage, but that left him wide open. I drank a health potion and attacked him while he was recharging his attack. I did this a few more times before the mob finally fell. Alright, the heart of the sea is all mine. The door to the treasure chest opened up, and I rushed in. When I opened the treasure chest, there were some prismarine blocks inside, along with the heart of the sea. Once I collected them all, I used them to craft a new shield with some of my spare shark teeth. This shield of the deep could provide me with some defense, while also draining health from enemy mobs. On days 44 to 49, I made it to the Marshmallow Swamp. It definitely lived up to its name, as there were white marshmallow blocks floating all throughout it. I took a drink from the black water, and I realized that it was coffee. It gave me a temporary energy boost and increased the distance of my dash attack. There were a bunch of pink oozes jumping around the swamp, so I used them to test out both my enhanced dash and my shield of the deep. Once I was done cleaning up the slime squad, I heard a cry for help from the swamp. It was a platypus.
Help! I wanted a drink of coffee, but I started sinking.
Don't worry, I'll help you. I dove straight into the coffee and rescued the platypus before swimming both of us to shore. It was unusual for a land shark to be swimming in liquid, but I was very grateful that it all worked out.
I, Platric Platypus, owe you my life, Sir Shark.
Please, call me Zozo. I'm on a quest searching for a legendary spice called the Chef's Bane.
Chef's Bane, You've come to the right place. You may not know this, but we platypi are experts in all things poison.
You are?
Absolutely. We're venomous creatures, too. Chef's Bane is the ultimate in poisonous ingredients, but you won't find any in this swamp. We'll need to go somewhere a lot more tropical. Follow me.
With that, Platric began to lead me out of the Marshmallow Swamp. I felt like I could trust him, so I decided to follow him. On days 50 to 53, Platric and I arrived in a tropical region south of the Marshmallow Swamp. I checked the inside of the cookbook and saw that this area was called the Banana Pepper Beach and was known for growing the spiciest peppers ever known.
Look alive, Sir Shark. We're on the lookout for a very special purple pepper, which is a key ingredient for Chef's Bane.
Purple pepper, Platric. I'll positively peek around every part of this place until I've pointed it out.
Say it, don't spray it.
We split up and searched for hints of the purple pepper. I ended up at the seashore. Wow, I just realized that I'm a shark who has never seen the ocean. I didn't have time to think about that because I noticed the crypt keeper from the Great Pyramid of Pizza running towards me. I guess I interrupted his vacation. We fought, but this time I had my shield. After a few hits, he realized his health was being drained and he ran away. He won't bother me again. A little later, Patrick and I reunited. It seems like neither of us had any luck finding the purple pepper.
We'll keep trying, Sir Shark. In the meantime, have a potion of poison resistance. You'll want to be practically immune when we find it.
I gulped down the potion and felt its effect make me even stronger against poison. On days 54 to 57, I returned to base to make some improvements. After swimming in the coffee swamp, I was eager to turn the oasis pool into a more tropical habitat. So I planted some banana trees to spice up the place. With the trees in place, I decided that the pool needed a diving board, so I added that along with some decorations to make it feel far more relaxing. Now I'll be a land shark and a water shark, master of both worlds. Hammerhead, Frilled, and Flying Fish all enjoyed using the diving board too. It seems like the base was becoming more than just a hideout. It was our home, and we were family. Eventually, Frill came over and approached me.
Oh, hi Zozo.
Hey there, Frilled.
I noticed that you built the Shield of the Deep. It looks like it protects you really well, and I was hoping you could make me one too.
I would, but I need to go find another Heart of the Sea. Maybe the cookbook knows where I can find one. I returned to my room to look at the cookbook, but it wouldn't reveal the locations of the Hearts of the Sea. But it would let me know where more mantis shrimp were. It was just a hunch, but I decided to give it a shot. I made my way over to a nearby cave where I figured another mantis shrimp might be hiding. I managed to find another chest like the last one, but this time it wasn't even guarded. Lucky me! I looked inside, and there was another Heart of the Sea. Soon after, I crafted another Shield of the Deep and gave it to Frilled.
Thank you, Zozo. Here, I have some serrated teeth I can spare. If you equip them, your bite attack will be able to drain health, just like the shield.
It's an incredible upgrade. Thanks, Frilled. You rule. I put those chompers in, and I could already feel more awesome. Or should I say, jawsome. On days 58 to 62, I was making some really great improvements to the statue. It's really starting to come together. Can you tell what it is yet? Just then, I noticed that the base was swarmed by tarantulas. The tarantula leader that I saw in the flashback was there as well, so it looked like this was a planned invasion. But how did they know where we were? I thought to myself and remembered the cookbook. Card Shark, he must have sold us out. Hammerhead was right not to trust him. I ran towards the base to help the others defend it. Frilled and I both had Shields of the Deep and draining bites, so we could restore our health even as we faced getting swarmed by tarantulas.
Oh no, this poison is taking a real toll on me.
Right, I forgot. I'm the only one immune to poison. Go get some honey and cure your poison, Frilled. I'll go help Hammerhead. Hammerhead was the one I was the most worried about. He wasn't immune to poison either, and on top of that, he didn't even have a shield. By the time I got to where he was, Hammerhead was being dragged away. Hammerhead! He called out to me while the spiders took him away.
Make sure Card Shark pays for this.
Don't worry, buddy. I will. And then we'll come save you. I was so afraid. There was nothing I could do. My best friend had just been kidnapped. On days 63 to 66, I returned to the Village of Trouble in order to get back at Card Shark for selling the rest of us out. I barged into the saloon where he usually hung out and saw him in the middle of a card game. He wouldn't be for long. Hey, Card Shark, I need to talk to you.
Yeah, well, if it isn't my old shark friend, I'm surprised to see you here, and alive.
You know why I'm here. You betrayed us.
Now, remember the good times we had. I gave you that cookbook, remember?
Your cookbook didn't help me at all. All it did was lead me to a bunch of dead ends. The purple peppers to make Chef's Bane weren't even where they were supposed to be.
Of course they weren't. The Spider King already picked them all, so that no more Chef's Bane could be made. It was part of his deal with Sous Chef, and this is part of my deal with her.
He started throwing poker chips at me like arrows. I raised my shield and blocked them. Then I dashed in and gave the Card Shark a well-deserved bite.
Good one, but I'm tougher than that. I am a shark, same as you.
No, not anymore. He tried punching me, but I followed up with a harsh draining bite and defeated him. That was for Hammerhead. With Card Shark defeated, I left Trouble and followed the many footprints that tarantulas left in the sand. I hoped the Hammerhead was all right. I don't know what I'd do if he got turned into soup. On day 67 to 70, I tracked the tarantulas to Cobweb Castle. I knew that Hammerhead could be here, as well as the purple pepper ingredients needed to make Chef's Bane.
There were a whole lot of tarantulas around, but I was a whole lot of shark, and their poison wouldn't work on me. Fought my way to the throne room and found Hammerhead restrained in a web.
Zozo, is that you?
Don't worry, Hammerhead, I'm coming to help you. I moved closer to the throne when suddenly the King of Spiders dropped down from the ceiling.
2 sharks for the price of 1. The boss is gonna be extra happy with me.
The boss is never gonna see you again, Spider King, not unless you get out of our way.
Big talk for a silly little shark. Let's go.
I leaped at the King of Spiders and started biting his long, scary legs.
Ow! Is this what being bitten feels like? Can't believe I've been doing this for years.
The jagged shark teeth were too much for him. The Spider King ran off, leaving through a pathway. After that, I freed Hammerhead by shooting an arrow that destroyed the cobweb prison he was in. Hammerhead, let's check where the Spider King ran off to. Maybe the purple peppers are in there.
Good idea, Zozo.
From day 71 to day 74, Hammerhead and I entered the secret pathway that the Spider King had left through. On the inside, there was a creepy dungeon waiting for us.
Whoa, this place looks so spooky, Zozo. I don't want to spend too long here.
It'll be worth it if we can find the purple peppers and make the chef's bane, Hammerhead. But we were already too late. The purple peppers were gone, and there was a note from Sous Chef herself left in the empty dungeon.
You underestimate me and my minions, Zozo. Did you really think I'd just leave the purple peppers here? Silly little shark. Only a chef of my caliber would know what to do with such an ingredient. I'd say I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's actually very funny to me. I'll see you at dinner, my dear.
Me and Hammerhead were devastated. All this work and risk for nothing.
It's okay, Zozo. At least you saved me. Let's go back to the base and figure out what to do next.
From day 75 to day 78, I brought Hammerhead back to the base. I didn't want any more spiders to invade us at night, so I put up a new layer of defense. Hopefully a little fire will scare those creeps away. That's when Hammerhead approached me and gave me an enchanted book. What's this, Hammerhead?
It's the sharpness enchantment, Zozo. It'll make your shark teeth extra sharp and dangerous.
Oh, heck yeah, just what I need. I went inside and applied the enchantment book to my teeth. And I got those extra sharp teeth just in time, because the King of Spiders who narrowly escaped in the Cobweb Castle was back, and he meant business. Time to end this once and for all. As the King of Spiders ran in, I lunged forward and chomped him. In one bite, he was finished off, and that made me level up. I grew into a land great white with 25 hearts and the water speed ability, which made me twice as fast in water. Even though I'm a land shark, this might come in handy later. But that wasn't the only thing that the King of Spiders dropped. He also had a note, which I picked up and read. It must have come straight from Sous Chef.
Once Zozo has been destroyed, find the straddler in the forest. You know what to do.
I was starting to get really sick of reading notes from Sous Chef, but at least it could be a valuable lead. From day 79 to day 84, I searched the forest for the straddler. If he was somehow connected to Sous Chef, he might be able to give me some information. Straddler? Straddler? Hello? That's when the straddler emerged out of the forest, looking irritated.
Yeah, I'm the straddler. What's it to you?
I've heard that you might have something to do with Sous Chef, the villain trying to turn me and all my fishy friends into soup. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, of course I know about that. I've been trying to take her down for years. Maybe we can team up.
That sounds great.
But first, you see that cave next to me? I need you to grab a secret weapon I left inside.
I turned and saw a cave a few feet away, and there was a secret weapon inside? Perfect. I'll be right back, Straddler. I went into the deep, dark cave and was surprised to find inside was nothing. Could there have been some kind of mistake? I went back and saw the straddler standing in the mouth of the cave.
Sorry, kid. I worked for Sous Chef all along. You really shouldn't be so trusting.
He fired several arrows, and one of them even hit me. It was a tense moment, but I pulled out my own bow and fired back with even more accuracy. After a few arrows, the straddler was defeated, and I was alone in the cave. Whew, I really do need to be careful about who I can trust. On day 85 to day 89, I returned to the town of Trouble to meet somebody I thought I'd never need to talk to again. The card shark who, after I'd beaten him, was taken and locked up in the town jail. Thankfully, he was allowed visitors. I flopped down into the jail to see him.
Zozo, what the heck are you doing here? I didn't think you would ever want to see me again after what happened to your friends.
I figured after everything that happened between us, you owe me some information I can actually use.
I'm not gonna tell you nothing.
How'd you like it if I bit through the door of this cell and asked you a little closer?
Okay. What do you want to know?
Where can I find and defeat Sous Chef?
Find is one thought, defeat is another. You can find her in her kitchen on the Mushroom Island. But I warn you, Zozo, if you go to that island, you ain't coming back.
We'll see about that. This shark is never going into anybody's soup. And with that, I left the jail. There was no time to waste. From days 90 to 94, I worked on some new items and upgrades to my base. I can't take on Sous Chef without the best of the best of the best. I added a bunch of new upgrades to increase the effectiveness of my bow. The power enchantment that increases damage, and the punch enchantment, which increased the knockback power of my arrows. Hope you like your food spicy, Sous Chef. And also, to give myself a little extra boost, I made myself a few potions. A potion of healing, a potion of regeneration, and a potion of swiftness. And sharks aren't exactly fast, but this should offset that. I'm sure to win now. On day 95 to day 97, I finished the statue, a giant blue land shark, just like me. I'm very happy about how it turned out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. It made me realize something. In all of my time here, I'd only seen a handful of other sharks. There used to be so many land sharks out there, but now, because of people like Sous Chef, they were all gone. I couldn't let Sous Chef wipe us out. I needed to protect the land shark legacy and give our people a future. I'm gonna take you down, Sous Chef. You've made your last shark soup. On day 98, it was time to prepare for the final battle. I gathered all my friends together, the hammerhead shark, the frilled shark, and the flying fish. Guys, this is it. I'm gonna fight for the freedom of sharks and all fish. If I don't come back, then find Sous Chef on the Mushroom Island and defeat her for me. That's when Hammerhead Shark, my oldest friend, stepped forward.
Wait up, Zozo. I'm not gonna let you go alone.
Hammerhead, it's dangerous. She's gonna try and turn us to soup.
That's exactly why I can't let you go alone. Let's go together and finally finish this thing.
On day 99, Hammerhead Shark and I swam across the ocean until we reached the Mushroom Island. Let's go, Hammerhead. No time to waste. The island was guarded by particularly creepy creatures, mutant spider pigs. They spotted us and started to crawl towards us.
What are we gonna do, Zozo?
Don't worry, Hammerhead. I have a special weapon. I pulled out my fully upgraded bow and started firing, knocking back the mutant spider pigs. Look at that! I'm biting you without even touching you! Ha!
Zozo, over here! I found some prisoners!
I went to where Hammerhead was and saw that he had found a cage full of blobfish that Sous Chef had captured. You help them get back to the base, Hammerhead. I'm gonna defeat Sous Chef once and for all.
Good luck, Zozo. I believe in you.
On day 100, I continued alone across the Mushroom Island, looking for Sous Chef and her evil lair. Along the way, even more mutant spider pigs started rushing towards me. I used my upgraded bow to quickly dispatch them and clear the way. Will you guys get out of the way? I'm looking for your boss. After defeating the last few mutant spider pigs, I saw a secret chest on the island, with a sign next to it saying, Secret Ingredients. Hey, that sounds useful. I searched through the chest until I found a bottle labeled Potion of Evolution. I immediately added it to my inventory and kept moving. Soon enough, I found Sous Chef's true lair. She'd mined a huge crater into the ground and filled it with lava. It was the ultimate soup boiling pot, and Sous Chef was there, throwing ingredients in.
Welcome, Zozo. You're just in time. I've been working on the ultimate soup, but it's been missing something. I think it could really use a little shark to really make it pack a punch.
Oh, I'm here to pack a punch, Sous Chef, but it won't be in your soup. Sous Chef started to laugh at me, and as she laughed, she grew bigger and more powerful. She also equipped a huge diamond sword. This must have been her final form.
Big talk, but nothing to back it up. You don't even have the chef's bane. How could you possibly stop me?
Things have changed, Sous Chef. I used to want the chef's bane. Now, I am the chef's bane. I remembered my friends and got a surge of power and started to grow and change. I wasn't a land shark anymore. I was Land Megalodon, the biggest and most powerful shark in history, with 30 hearts. You wanted shark? I'll give you more shark than you can handle. I lunged at her. She tried to hit me with her diamond sword, but her sword was nothing compared to my razor-sharp Megalodon teeth.
Ouch! I was meant to eat you. You're not meant to eat me.
She tried to hit me, but I kept lunging forward and biting her. Sous Chef was stumbling backwards, losing her balance. You look a little tense, Sous Chef. Why not take a dip and cool off? With one more push from me, Sous Chef fell backwards and landed in her own soup. She was finally finished. I threw the potion of evolution into the fiery pit, which caused it to level up and change into obsidian. Now no shark will ever be cooked here again. With Sous Chef gone, I returned back to my base, where the hammerhead shark, the frilled shark, the flying fish, and the blobfish were waiting for me. Want to head out for a meal to celebrate our victory?
Sure, anything but soup.
On day 1, I spawned in as a mighty dinosaur. Well, not really. I was pretty small and only had 4 hearts. I'm just a baby. I looked around and noticed there weren't any other dinosaurs around. And then I noticed I was in an enclosure with tall walls. Hey, that's no fair. I want to run around and be free. I ran around looking for a way out. I couldn't find anything. Just then, I heard a bell go off and I saw some food being lowered into my cage. I was hungry, but I still needed to find a way out. The food lowered to the ground and I ate all of it. Then I got a brilliant idea. I held onto the hook as it was brought back up to the edge of the wall. I jumped on the edge, free from my enclosure. Then I jumped off and ran toward the jungle. Dinosaurs are meant to be free. As I was running, I saw a human in a car trying to chase after me. He started shooting at me. Ah! I managed to jump over a large tree that had fallen down, but the car couldn't get through. One human threw his weapon down in anger and yelled at me.
We'll get you back. Mark my words.
What a weird guy. I found a little cave and decided to hide out there for the night. I would go looking around for more dinosaurs in the morning. On day 2, I woke up feeling very hungry. Man, I'm gonna need to find more food if I want to survive out here. I quickly began chopping down some trees and managed to make a crafting table. With that, I made some wood tools. I feel a bit more prepared now. I explored further in the jungle and found some sheep. I hurried and got their meat before they could run away. I really needed to gain my strength back. Yummy. As I was enjoying my food, I heard a snap of a twig. I turned and saw a small ocelot trying to hide behind some bushes. Hey, do you want some food? The ocelot peeked out and slowly came and grabbed some meat from me.
Thank you.
Of course.
What are you?
I'm a dinosaur.
You won't eat me, will you?
No, I won't. Have you never seen a dinosaur before? The ocelot shook his head.
I know that park over there has dinosaurs, but I've never seen one until today.
Interesting. I wondered what that park was all about and why there weren't any other dinosaurs on the island.
Thanks again for the food. You take care of yourself.
You too. He ran off into the jungle. I need to figure out what's going on here. On day 3, I gathered some more materials to make a little base. I knew that the humans would probably be back, and I wanted to be ready for them. Once the base was finished, I went out to look for some food. Boy, am I hungry again. I managed to find a bunch of sheep and tried to herd them back to my base. But then, a bunch of alligators came and started attacking me. Get back, you nasties! I used my sword and my pure strength to fight them off, and before I knew it, they were all gone. Just then, I felt a surge of power, and I grew into a teenage T-Rex. Hey, I have more hearts now. I finished gathering the sheep and led them back to my base. I hurried and set up a pen for them. What a good day. On days 4 to 5, I made my way back to the park to scout it out. Maybe I could learn more if I watched what the humans were doing. I was searching around and found some rusty shears. These might come in handy. Just then, I saw a bunch of humans driving toward me. I ran through some rocks and dirt hills to lose them, but they just kept following me. I roared at them, and the force almost toppled their car over. That's new. This caused one human to fall out of the car. The driver didn't stop and they left him. He got out his weapon and started shooting darts at me. Hey, stop it! I roared again, and the force made him fall over. I was starting to feel the effects of the dart. Ouch! I felt pretty woozy. What was that? The human pulled out a walkie-talkie.
Dr. Harlan, I have subdued test subject A. Come to this location to retrieve him.
I couldn't let the humans take me, especially not this Dr. Harland. He sounded like bad news. I mustered up my strength and smacked the human with my tail, sending him flying over a cliffside. I gotta get out of here! The sleeping dart definitely was doing its job, but I managed to get back home before completely passing out. I'll have to find that doctor tomorrow. On day 6 to 8, I woke up, still feeling a little groggy. That wasn't super fun. I need to be sure not to get shot again. I went out and grabbed some food before heading out to gather more supplies. I needed some better weapons to defend myself. I went further into the jungle and spotted a small mountain. I started to mine out some of the materials and set up a crafting table to make myself a new stone sword, pickaxe, and shovel. Nice! I was about to make my way further up the mountain when I saw some little jaguars hanging out. They're kinda cute. But that was short-lived because they started to jump and bite at me. Come on, guys, I'm not food. They didn't back down, so I used my new sword to fight them off. It only took a minute before I defeated them all. Thank goodness for that. Otherwise, I would look like Swiss cheese. I ate some food to heal, and I headed further into the jungle. On days 9 to 10, I journeyed past the trees to the edge of the island. It was beautiful. Too bad there were humans trying to hunt me down. Just then, I heard a screeching of tires and saw a car coming towards me. Wow, I was just thinking about the humans, and then they show up. Maybe I have superpowers. I started to think of it raining sheep and nothing. Well, it was worth a shot. I started to run away from the car, but they caught up to me pretty quick. The guy I had seen earlier who had thrown down his weapon was inside. He must have been Dr. Harland.
You can't run away from me now. You're mine.
Go away! The car soon caught up to me, and the humans had me cornered. Ah! A heavy iron cage made out of chains pinned me down.
Thank goodness for that tracker. We didn't realize it was attached to you until later because Jones never came back. But at least he did his job right.
Dr. Harland plucked something off my leg. It looked like a dart, but then I noticed a little blinking beacon. That human, Jones, must have shot me with a tracker a few days ago. I felt so silly. I don't belong with you. I belong out in the wild. Dr. Harland just laughed. I was confused and desperate. I needed to get out. Just then, I felt a whoosh of air, and part of the cage was broken. I saw a blur of pink whizzing past me.
Run, Zozo!
I ran, following the pink blur back toward my base. When we finally stopped, I realized the pink blur wasn't just a blur. It was another T-Rex. The dinosaur jumped down from behind cover and scared me. I knew there were other dinosaurs on the island. I'm Zozo. The dinosaur smiled at me.
I'm Zoe. I'm your sister.
Sister? Wait, back up. What?
We're twins. I was put in a different enclosure though. I heard that you escaped, and everyone was freaking out, so I took my chance when they went looking for you and climbed out as well. They really need to work on their security system.
But hey, good for us though, right?
Right.
So, you're super fast? Zoe nodded her head and zoomed in a circle, demonstrating her speed.
What can you do?
I don't know. Am I supposed to be able to do something? Zoe looked a little uncomfortable.
No, not really.
Oh, wait! I can move things with my roar. It's like a sonic power. I showed it off.
That's really cool!
Do all dinosaurs have powers like us?
No, I guess we are just special.
Zoe seemed like she wasn't telling me something. I was going to ask her what she knew, but then I heard her stomach growl. Hey, how about I get you some food? You must be starving.
That'd be great, actually. Thanks.
We went to the farm and ate until we were both full. Zoe must have not eaten for a long time because she had double of what I had. How about you live here? It's safe, there's plenty of food, and I'd love for you to stay with me. Zoe looked really happy about that, and she readily agreed.
Sounds like a plan.
On days 11 to 12, I made an area for Zoe on the base. I worked hard to give her everything she would need in order to be comfortable. Soon, it was all ready to go. She seemed really happy to have found me, and I was happy to be reunited with the sister I never knew I had. I decided to go exploring a little bit to improve the base and the weapons that I had. While I was out, I came across a flock of birds nesting on some stones. They were beautiful looking woodpeckers. Hey, could I have some of that stone? They seemed friendly enough, but then out of nowhere they started pecking at me. Seriously? I tried to smack them, but they kept flying and then dive bombing me. I need to get out of here. I ran into the trees, hoping to get some coverage. They stopped attacking, but I really needed that stone. What am I gonna do? I looked around the jungle and noticed some long vines hanging from the trees. I had an idea. I gathered some of the vines, a couple small sticks, and a bunch of rocks. This should do the trick. I snuck back to the rock formation and attacked them with my new weapon, a slingshot. Take that! It worked perfectly, and before I knew it, all the birds were gone. Nice! And I have some food to take back to Zoe. I gathered the bird meat and started mining out the rocks. It took a while, but I finally got enough to make some new furnaces. This is awesome! I headed back to the base and showed Zoe my new weapon. She was super impressed and even asked if I could make her one. I happily agreed. She was super excited and shot with the slingshot towards the lake. Once that was done, I used some wooden logs to build a wall surrounding the base. It was all starting to come together. On days 13 to 15, I had a weird dream. I was back in the park, but it looked like I was in a lab of some sort. People were poking and prodding at me. I saw Zoe and she was chained down. Let her go! Then the dream changed and Dr. Harland was there. He was presenting us to a large crowd of humans. He had trapped us in enclosures and we were chained. The humans stared and laughed at us. It was horrible. I woke from the dream with a start. Whoa, that was terrible. I went to go find Zoe. I told her about the dream and asked her what it meant. She hesitated.
We are lab experiments, Zozo. We aren't natural dinosaurs. Dr. Harlan grew us in the lab, giving us special abilities.
Why would he do that?
He's not just a doctor. He also owns this entire park over there. He genetically engineers dinosaurs for human entertainment.
That's awful.
But you and I are special. He made us specifically for a new exhibit he's working on.
This was a lot to take in. We were being hunted by an angry doctor and his goons. It felt like the odds were definitely against us. On days 16 to 19, I woke up to find that Zoe wasn't in the base. Zoe! I looked everywhere and called out to her, but I couldn't find her. I wonder where she went. I looked around the entrance and noticed some footprints. They looked a lot like mine, but were smaller. These must be Zoe's footprints. I followed them, leading away into the jungle. They stopped at the mouth of a cave. Oh no, I hope Zoe's okay. I tried to quietly creep in the cave, my slingshot at the ready. I heard some muffled screaming, along with some maniacal laughter. That doesn't sound good. I went further down, and I saw Zoe. She was all tied up. There was also a monkey tied up next to her. Around them were a bunch of big, hairy spiders. Oh, gross! I charged, shooting rocks as I went. The spiders looked alarmed and tried to scurry away, but I managed to fight them all off. I hurried and freed Zoe just as she yelled at me.
Zozo, look out!
I turned around, and there was the biggest spider I had ever seen in my life. Granted, I was only a few days old, but still.
You're taking my dinner.
That's my sister. She's not food. I slung some rocks at the huge spider before charging at him. He smacked me with his legs, and I was nearly down to my last heart when I remembered my roar. I let out a big roar. The force made the spider fall over. I then attacked with my tail and weapons, and within no time, he was gone. Victory is mine! All of a sudden, I felt power course through my body, and I leveled up into an adult T-Rex. Nice! I had way more hearts, and my tail could swing faster now. I helped finish freeing Zoe and the monkey.
Thanks for rescuing me. I'm Crew.
I'm Zozo. I looked over at Zoe, and she was shaking. Are you okay?
That was so scary. I went out this morning before you got up, and I was ambushed by those spiders. I tried to roar, but they tied my mouth closed before I had a chance to call for you.
I'm glad I found you. Being spider food wasn't really a part of my grand plan. Zoe laughed and Crew joined us.
You're from that park over there. I knew there were dinosaurs, but nobody has seen any.
Yeah, we managed to escape Dr. Harland, but he is kind of crazy. He wants to bring us back so he can make money off of us and all the other dinosaurs.
That's awful. How many more dinosaurs are there?
We don't know, but they don't belong in there. We need to help them escape. Crew thought for a minute.
I might be able to help out with that.
Really? How?
This island has been inhabited by dinosaurs before, a really long time ago. There was a T-Rex like you guys that had a special item that could ward off the humans.
That sounds awesome. Do you know where it is?
No, sorry. Legend says it's on the island somewhere, but nobody has found it.
This was good news. Maybe we could make the humans leave for good. On days 20 to 22, Crew came with us to the base. He seemed to really like us and wasn't scared like most animals were. He was also really funny and would ride on our back sometimes. Once we got back to the base, we tried to get settled in, but then a bunch of jaguars showed up, trying to get our sheep. Hey, there's enough food for all of us. You don't need to steal from us. They didn't listen and just continued to attack. With our combined strength, the jaguars were gone in no time. We made some improvements to the base, including a treehouse for Crew to hang out in. He really seemed to like it. Hey Zoe, would you want to help me with something?
Yeah, sure. What is it?
I want to make a statue. I want the humans to know that they can't mess with us, and I want all the dinosaurs to know that there is hope to be free.
That sounds awesome, Zozo.
We chatted about the design and started on the base of the statue. Can you tell what it's going to be? Also, if you like what you've seen so far, don't forget to subscribe. We love having you here on our adventures. On days 23 to 26, I woke up to the base being attacked again. They broke through the wall. I guess the jaguars had some reinforcements and didn't like that they couldn't get to our sheep. Come on, guys, really? Zoe and crew joined me, and with their help, we defeated the jaguars in no time. I noticed that one of them had dropped something, so I picked it up. It was an iron sword. Whoa, neat! I swung it around and nearly jabbed Zoe with it.
Hey, watch it!
Sorry! I looked around the base for a minute. Maybe we need to make some changes to the base so that it's safer. Zoe agreed and we went to work. We worked on expanding the walls and making our own areas larger. We ran out of supplies pretty quickly, so I headed out to gather some more materials. I also would really like some more iron so that I can have some better weapons. I explored for a minute before finding a large cave. I delved deeper and deeper until I found some iron ore. Perfect! Just then, a bunch of bats came out of nowhere and tried to swarm me. Ah! I hurried and started smacking them with my new sword. The last few that evaded me, I shot with my slingshot. Nice! I really like having a sword. I mined the rest of the iron and hurried to craft myself an iron pickaxe, axe, and an iron helmet. This will be perfect. I left, still feeling accomplished. I had a new weapon and a new tool. I felt like I was on top of the world. On days 27 to 31, I went to Crew to chat with him about the special item that would help me defeat the humans. He was chilling in his treehouse. I was too big to fit, so we just talked from a distance.
Well, the legend says that thousands of years ago, many dinosaurs lived on the island in peace. Then one day, the dinosaurs saw a boat approaching. They had no idea what it was, so they didn't fear it. But then the humans landed, and they began to immediately attack the dinosaurs. They took over the island and started to chop down all the trees and pollute the land. One T-Rex, his name was Ignatius the Great. He sacrificed his most prized possession to the volcano gods in order to gain the legendary item to ward off the humans.
What was the item exactly?
It was an amulet that granted him awesome power to grow to 10 times his size.
Whoa, that is awesome!
Right? So he used the amulet to defeat the humans and protect the dinosaurs.
So what happened to him and the amulet?
I'm not sure exactly. That's all I know.
What an interesting story. I hoped that it was true. It could be the answer to all my problems. On days 32 to 35, I thought some more about what Crew said. I really need to find that amulet. And if it's on the island, how hard can it be to find it? I decided to look around for something significant that could possibly help me. While I was venturing further into the island, I came upon a group of ocelots. One of them recognized me.
Hey, it's that dinosaur that helped me get food.
He ran up to me and started talking to me. His family seemed a little reluctant, so they stayed further back.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for the amulet that was lost on the island. Do you know anything about it? My little ocelot friend shook his head, but his dad piped up.
That amulet corrupts all who hold it. You don't want it.
Why do you say that?
The dinosaur that held it, Ignatius the Great, began to use the power to unfairly rule all of the dinosaurs. The volcano gods were angry, so they willed the volcano to erupt, taking out all the dinosaurs.
That's awful.
Well, that's what happens when you mess with power you shouldn't have. I couldn't agree more.
I flipped around to see Dr. Harland. How did you find me?
It's not that big of an island. I knew I would find you eventually.
I tried to run away, but Dr. Harland shot a dart at me. It got me right in the leg, and I immediately felt woozy again. Oh no, I can't pass out again. Everything was starting to get fuzzy.
It's okay. We'll take care of you.
Then everything went dark. On days 36 to 39, I woke up back in my house. Hey, how did I get back here? I went outside and saw the ocelot family hanging out with Zoe.
Look who's awake.
My little ocelot friend ran up to me.
Zozo, you're okay.
What happened?
Dr. Harlan shot you and then you passed out. We worked together to move you. We met your sister outside. She had been looking for you and was worried. She helped us to carry you in.
Wow, you guys are the best. Thanks.
No problem.
I don't even know all of your names. The ocelot officially introduced himself as Marty. The rest of his family had M names as well. Melissa, Mo, Miley, you get it.
Now that you're feeling better, how about we make some room for our new friends?
Sounds like a plan. Zoe and I worked on making an enclosure for the ocelots. I could tell they were scared to be living out on their own. By the time we finished, I could tell they were really happy about it. I decided to talk more with Marty's dad, Marvin, about the legendary amulet. I asked him where it might be, and he shook his head.
All I know is that the legend says it was buried with Ignatius somewhere on the north side of the island. That's where his home was. Everyone claims that he was wearing the amulet when the volcano erupted.
Interesting. I would have to travel a long way to go looking for it. But before I went back out, I got to work on the statue. It was coming along pretty great. I was excited to finish it. So, was your guess right? On days 40 to 43, I went out to go looking for more iron since I hadn't found that many deposits nearby. I went north and found a pretty big cave. As I entered, I saw a bunch of snakes slithering around. Not today! I quickly shot them with my slingshot, hit them with my sword, and also used my roar to send them flying into the lava. I was starting to feel really powerful. I journeyed deeper, and sure enough, I found a huge deposit of iron as well as coal. I made myself a little crafting table and set up a camp for myself in the cave. With the iron I had collected, I made myself all new tools and weapons. I am the mightiest of T-Rexes! Nobody can stop me now! On days 44 to 49, I journeyed to the north side of the island in search of the amulet. I was tromping through the jungle when I heard a scream. I snuck forward to see a bunch of alligators who had trapped a toucan. It looked like they were about to eat her. Hey, stay away from her! I tromped out from my hiding place and the alligators snapped at me. I guess they didn't like me intruding on their dinner plans. They started to attack me, but with my sonic roar and powerful tail, they were gone in an instant.
Thank you, mister.
I'm Zozo.
I'm Greta. I thought for sure I was going to be alligator food.
Well, I'm glad I was around.
I've been hearing about the dinosaurs on the island. What brings you over here?
I'm looking for the lost amulet of Ignatius the Great.
Oh, that's a tricky one, that is. It's supposedly here on the north side of the island, but...
What?
Well, it's kind of complicated to explain. I think it would be easier if I just showed you.
Okay, sounds like a plan to me. On days 50 to 53, I followed Greta further into the north side of the island. We were about to enter a clearing when Greta stopped me. Is that chanting?
Yeah.
I looked through the trees and saw a temple of some sort. There were a bunch of other toucans gathered around something on a pedestal. Hey, they have the amulet!
Wait, Zozo!
I didn't listen, and I tromped through the trees toward the birds. They immediately squealed in delight and started bowing. What's going on?
Oh, great and mighty one! You have heard our call, and you have come to retrieve what you have left behind.
I looked on the pedestal and noticed that it wasn't an amulet. It was is that a foot?
Yes, great Ignatius, it is your foot. We have been saving it for you.
I looked behind me and saw Greta was super embarrassed. These must have been her family members. The crazy side of the family, no doubt. Yes, I have been missing my foot. Thank you for taking such good care of it. They continued bowing as I went up and grabbed the foot. It was definitely from a T-Rex. My humble toucans, where did you find my foot? One hopped forward eagerly.
Oh, yes, we found it over here.
We journeyed on a path leading toward a large rock formation.
The foot was just sitting right here, oh holy one.
Thanks. Do you mind if I look around?
Do as you wish, great one.
The toucan left, and Greta flew up a moment later to rest on my shoulder.
I should have warned you. I don't come around here anymore because they are all a bunch of crazies. I mean, who worships a foot?
I just laughed. It's fine. It was exciting to say the least. I began digging at the rock formation, and sure enough, I found more bones inside. This must be Ignatius. Yes. We managed to uncover all the bones, but there wasn't an amulet in sight. If he wasn't wearing it, where did it go?
All the stories said he was wearing it.
This was beginning to feel like a wild goose chase. I gathered all the bones, and we headed back toward the base. On days 54 to 57, Greta and I made it back to the base. She didn't want to be with her crazy family, understandably, so we made a little nook for her. She seemed to really like it.
Hey, Zozo.
It was Crew. He came over to me. What's up?
I'm running a little low on food. Do you think you could grab me some more bananas? There's a tree nearby with some in it, but there are also some spiders in there.
No problem. I went to the tree Crew was talking about and immediately saw the swarm of spiders. Yuck! I used my slingshot to make them fall out of the tree, and then I attacked them. They were no match for my roar, and soon enough, they were gone. Sweet! Now Crew can have all the bananas he could want. I used my roar to make the bananas fall out of the tree, and I gathered them for my friend. He was ecstatic to see all the food I had gotten for him.
Wow, thanks, Zozo. Wait here for just a minute.
Crew went to work. In his treehouse, he started mixing a bunch of ingredients together in the mixing basin. And before I knew it, he had a big loaf of banana bread for me. Where did you even learn to bake? And where did you even get a mixer?
I have my ways. Here, hope you like it.
I ate it, and it was actually delicious. Yum. Thanks, Crew. He jumped up and down in delight.
No problem.
On days 58 to 62, I worked on the statue for a little bit. I was nearly done when I heard a scream from down below. The base was being attacked by some humans. Oh no! I hurried to run down to the base and noticed that all my friends had been shot with sleeping darts. The humans were trying to take them away. You let my friends go! I roared with all my might, and the humans focused their attention on me. They tried to shoot me, but I dodged them. I managed to take out a few of the guards and then went to chase the rest away. They got scared of me and ran off. Good riddance. I hurried to help my friends get back to their homes when I noticed that Zoe was missing. Zoe! I looked outside the base and I saw her lying on the ground. She didn't look too good. Zoe, let's get you inside so you can sleep.
They didn't hit me with a sleeping arrow, Zozo. They hit me with a real bullet.
What? Why?
I heard one of Dr. Harlan's men say that they just needed one dinosaur for the exhibit. You. So I charged him, and he shot me.
Oh no. Zoe!
It's okay. The hunter that shot me, Brett, said that they were going to get the amulet from its secret hiding place.
Zoe weakly handed me a map.
They dropped this. Hurry, Zozo. Take care of the rest of the dinosaurs. Protect the island.
And with that, my sister died. No! On days 63 to 66, I used the map that Zoe gave me to track down Brett. They won't get away with this. I traveled to the north side of the island again, past the temple and down into a large cave. There didn't seem to be anybody around, but then I saw a pool of water with a large glowing squid in it. There were a bunch of humans attacking him. Stop hurting innocent creatures! The men jumped in surprise as I attacked them. In only a matter of seconds, they were defeated.
Thank you, Ancient One.
Of course.
I knew you would all be back someday. It was only right that the dinosaurs ruled this island again.
Do you know where the amulet is? The squid nodded and pointed down further into the tunnel.
I'm afraid the rest of the humans have already started heading down that way, though.
How did they know to look for you?
Dr. Harlan was my friend. When he came to the island, he discovered me and studied me. I told him of the amulet in the cave, but he wasn't interested in it at the time. It wasn't until recently that he wanted to retrieve it. I guess he didn't want a chance you finding it and overpowering him. He ordered his goons to destroy me.
I'm so sorry. That must have been heartbreaking.
You can't trust those humans. They only want power. They'll do anything to get it.
I'll go retrieve it.
Good luck to you, friend.
And with that, the squid swam further into the pool and disappeared. On days 67 to 70, I went deeper into the cave, which then opened up into a huge underground chasm. This must have been Ignatius's lair. Then I saw Brett and some other goons grabbing a chest from an alcove. That doesn't belong to you. Brett dropped his chest in surprise. He turned and sneered at me.
It don't belong to you neither.
I charged, ready to strike. The men got out their weapons, ready to shoot.
Don't hurt him, just put him to sleep. The doc wants to save him for later.
I managed to dodge all the darts, and I used all of my strength to swing and hit the humans. I finished off his men, and then went to attack him. Brett looked a little uneasy as I got closer, so then he pulled out his dart shooter.
I don't want to hurt you, dinosaur, but I will if I have to.
He fired his weapon, and it wasn't sleeping darts. It was a stun blaster. Ouch! Electricity pulsed through me and I fell down, hard.
Just give up. It'll be easier.
Then I blacked out. On days 71 to 74, I woke up, my bones and body aching. Then I remembered, the chest! I looked in the alcove and it wasn't there. Shoot! Brett must have taken it while I was out. I felt awful as I made my way out of the cave and up into the jungle again. It was super slow going to get back home, but eventually I made it. On days 75 to 78, I entered the base. I was so exhausted and just wanted to be alone, but my friends came running up to me.
Zozo, you're okay. We were asleep, and when we woke up, you were gone. Where's Zoe?
I I told them all about what happened, and they stood in shock.
We are so sorry, Zozo. Zoe was a really good friend.
I felt awful. I told them I needed to rest, and I went into my house for a little while. It wasn't until I heard screaming and shouting. I hurried to run outside, only to find Brett in the base, trying to shoot my friends again. What are you doing here?
I need your blood, dinosaur. Give it to me.
Ew, gross! No! I roared at Brett, causing him to fly backwards into the wall. I smacked him with my tail and sword, easily defeating him. I then felt a surge of power, and I leveled up into a full-size T-Rex. My roar could demolish anything, and I had tons of hearts.
What did he mean he needed your blood?
I have no idea, but that was definitely creepy. I looked and saw that Brett had dropped some things. I was hoping it was the amulet, but it was just a key card and a painting. The painting had some glyphs of humans shooting a dinosaur with a dart shooter and then growing to be huge. Have you seen anything like this?
No, it just looks like something the old humans must have left. They probably just thought that defeating a dinosaur would grant them power.
I guess Brett thought so too. Probably why he came back to hurt me.
Creepy.
I looked at the key card a little bit more closely. It had the park symbol on it and a label saying Site B. What is Site B?
The park is Site B. Site A is the abandoned site down the hill.
There's two?
Yeah, Site A was abandoned because it was too small. Now it's just storage.
There must be something important in there if Brett has a key card to it.
Must be.
On day 79 to 84, I traveled to Site A to go exploring. I was hoping the key card for Site B would work here too. As I approached the front gate, I took out the key card, put it in the key card scanner, and the gate clicked open. Nice! I followed the path and arrived at the main building that rose through the jungle, high into the sky. I slowly went inside the building and saw lots of boxes and cobwebs. The place looked like a mess. This place has been completely abandoned. I explored the building and saw an interesting roller coaster through the window. It goes straight through a dinosaur skeleton exhibit. What in the world was happening in this place? All of a sudden, I heard a noise from a back room. I approached and looked through the window, only to see an alligator looking through the cabinets. I wonder what she's doing. Then she saw me and charged at the glass. She then opened the door and ran towards me. I quickly backed up and she snapped her teeth at me.
What are you doing here?
I'm looking to see if there was anything that could help me defeat Dr. Harland here. What are you doing here? The alligator looked at me. She paused for a moment, then started speaking slowly.
I'm also trying to get to Dr. Harland. He's been running tests on my family in order to make new dinosaurs. I need to rescue him.
We can work together. Have you found anything useful here?
Yeah, there's some sort of weapon downstairs, but it's too heavy for me to carry. Maybe you can carry it.
I started to go down the stairs toward the control room. As I was about to enter, I felt something push me down the stairs. It was the alligator. Hey, what was that for?
You aren't supposed to be here, dinosaur. You've been extinct for years, and now you just expect to rule the whole island? The alligators are the real predators here.
She snapped her teeth at me and almost got me. Hey, I'm just trying to survive here. I'm not trying to hurt anyone. She ignored me and kept snapping her teeth. I backed up and then used my roar to push her back. I hit her a couple more times, and then after only a minute, she was gone. I wonder if there was anything down here or if she was just lying. I looked around the room, and sure enough, it was mostly just trash. Then I noticed a trapdoor. I was too big to go all the way down, but I did notice some diamonds and other materials, but they were out of reach. I looked around, and there were a few more diamonds just laying in the corner of the room. These will definitely come in handy. I grabbed them and headed back to the base. I would definitely need some help scouting out the rest of the secret room. On days 85 to 89, I went back to chat with my friends about what I had found.
Wow, I knew that the alligators on the island were super territorial, but that's just crazy.
What weirdos!
I know, right? But would one of you come with me back to the room? I can't fit down there, but I would like to see if there is anything else of value.
Yeah, sure.
Crew and I headed back to Side A, and he checked out the secret room. He came up in a few minutes, super excited.
There's a tunnel, and it looks like it leads into the Site B park.
This was great news. Now I just needed to figure out a way to fit down there. Crew explored some more and said there was a bigger tunnel opening near the river. That's perfect! I'll go in that way once I'm ready. On days 90 to 94, the monkey gave me the diamonds, and I used them to craft myself some better weapons. I didn't really have enough diamonds to make armor that would fit me, so I just made weaker diamond armor with a few chunks missing from the armor pieces. It would be enough to cover my weak spots. I tried it all on, and I actually felt really cool. Not only am I a strong dinosaur with superpowers, I now also have some protection. I knew that I was one step closer to defeating Dr. Harland and freeing all the dinosaurs. On days 95 to 97, I finished the statue. It is in honor of Zoe. As I looked up at the finished statue, I felt a sense of hope and strength. I knew that I would get the amulet and fulfill my destiny. On day 98, I said goodbye to all my friends before heading out. Take care, you guys. I'll be back. I promise. They cheered me on as I left the base and headed out to the park. On the way there, I noticed a plane overhead, and it was dragging a sign in the sky. Subscribe? Hey, that sounds like a good idea. You should do that so you can follow along on some of our other adventures. On day 99, I went to the river where the tunnel opening was. I broke the bars and headed inside toward the park. It was dark for a little while, but then I started to see light. The tunnel led to an enclosure with all kinds of other dinosaurs. I approached the gate and roared to break it open.
Whoa, it's the T-Rex!
They all gathered around me.
Are you gonna free us?
Yes, this tunnel leads to the outside world. I'll go open up all the other enclosures so that we can all be free. The dinosaurs whooped in delight, and then a bunch of darts started flying. The humans came out of nowhere and started shooting at us. Run, you'll be safe! They all started running into the tunnels as I roared at the humans. I trudged through the park, defeating the guards easily. I continued to the other side of the park. On day 100, I was loose in Jurassic Park. There were a bunch of humans running around in panic. I tried not to step on them. I just wanted to find Dr. Harland. Then out of nowhere came a bunch of humans with weapons. They shot, but I dodged and roared and swung my tail at them, sending them flying in different directions. They quickly ran away, and I continued through the park to the big building in the center. I smashed through the doors, and sitting on a pedestal was the amulet of Ignatius. I went to grab it, but I felt a dart hit me. I flipped around and saw Dr. Harland with a large shooter.
Come quietly, and I won't hurt you.
No! I grabbed the amulet and felt a huge surge of power. I turned into a giant T-Rex with massive teeth and a mighty tail.
So be it.
Dr. Harland backed up into the lab and closed the door. I heard some whirring, and then he appeared in a large robotic suit.
I didn't want to hurt you, but you have ruined my park. You are a liability now.
He shot at me with some tough shooters, but they didn't hurt me as much since I was so powerful. However, he soon started throwing bombs at me, which were not so easy to avoid. We exchanged blows, and I almost thought that Dr. Harland was about to end me. Ah, that hurt! Ha! I dodged that one. You will not take me down that easily. Take that!
Ah, you dirty lizard! That hurts!
But I was also doing some damage. I could tell some of my roars were hurting his mech because sparks started flying. Finally, his mech started smoking. Now I was doing some real damage. Then I used my sonic roar and sent Dr. Harland flying. The suit crumbled into pieces, and Dr. Harland was finally defeated. I made my way throughout the rest of the park, releasing all the dinosaurs back into the wild. They all seemed super happy. Once we all reached my base, I saw my friends cheering for me. Life was back to the way it should be. On day 1, I spawned into the red desert as Diamond Venom, the symbiote with major swag. Whoa, and I've started with 20 hearts? That must be because of my diamond hard skin. Even though I'm a baby Venom, I'm one tough baby. But I didn't get to enjoy all this for long. Before I knew it, a bunch of heavily armored royal guards were running towards me.
Yeah, he looks like one of the escapees. We need to get him back into containment before Agent Horace finds out he's here.
Escapees? But I didn't escape. I'm Zozo, and I just spawned here.
Oh, we've heard that one before, bub. Come with us, you sparkly symbiote. We'll be forced to use extreme, force.
I really didn't want to get into a fight straight away, especially over a misunderstanding, so I ran as fast as my little diamond venom legs would carry me. Uh-oh, it looks like I might not be fast enough. As I was running, I suddenly noticed that more royal guards had me backed up into a corner. Symbiotes are powerful, but as just a baby and without any weapons, there was no way I could take all these guys on. Can't we just talk this out? I promise I won't misbehave. I think this is a huge misunderstanding.
Don't worry, kid. We'll talk it out when we have you back in containment.
Come along now.
We don't want to hurt you if we don't have to.
And with that, the gang of royal guards led me off to who knows where. This isn't turning out to be a very successful first day. On day 2, the royal guards escorted me into what looked like a kind of small secret research lab in the middle of the desert.
Welcome to Area 52, son. This is where we keep all the secret things for research and testing, and that includes you.
But I don't even know what you guys think I did.
That's for us to know, and you to probably never find out. Now get in this cell over here. We'll check your paperwork and deal with you later.
They made me go into a cell where a huge, kind of intimidating redstone golem was waiting for me.
Oh, shiny. What are you in for, Mac?
Honestly, I don't even know. I feel like the right to a fair trial should have been given to us. They can't just lock us away like this.
You're here to that, buddy. I'm Robbie. Robbie the Redstone Golem. You?
I'm Zozo, and don't worry, Robbie. I'm gonna bust both of us out of here.
But how?
You see, one of the powers of the symbiote is super strength. Watch! With my powerful diamond fists, I busted down the wall of the cell leading to the outside. And before any of the royal guards could even notice, Robbie and I escaped out into the desert.
That was amazing, Zozo. We should probably go our separate ways now, so that those goons can't catch us, but I hope we run into each other again.
Same here, Robbie. Happy travels! And with that, we both ran off in different directions. On day 3, I ran further into the desert, trying to put as much distance between myself and Area 52 as possible. I never want to have to go back there, if I can avoid it. But as I was running away, my diamond venom stomach started to rumble. Oh no, this isn't good. Symbiotes are meat eaters, so I need to get my hands on some good protein as soon as possible. Lucky for me, there were some desert chickens waiting around, and they just looked too delicious for me to resist. I attacked them until I was left with some yummy raw chicken on my hands, which I ate with gusto. That's finger-licking good. My hunger sated, I kept on walking until I ran into another lone figure in the desert. It was a warden.
Hello there, Zozo.
Wait, how do you know my name?
I know a lot of things. Perks of the job. I'm Agent Warden. Nice to meet you.
Agent? Oh no, you're with Area 52. You're gonna try to capture me.
I used to be with them, but now I've gone rogue. Believe me, Zozo, we're on the same team. Come with me. I'll tell you everything you want to know.
That was an offer too good to refuse, so I followed Agent Warden through the desert. From day 4 to day 5, we arrived in an isolated base in the middle of the Black Forest, so deep and dark that nobody would ever find it unless they knew what they were looking for.
Welcome to my secret base, Zozo. And I do mean secret. If you tell anyone about this, I'll be forced to destroy you.
Noted. Jeez, this guy is intense.
I heard that.
No, you didn't. When we were inside, Agent Warden started telling me the whole horrible truth about what people were up to at Area 52.
You were lucky to escape with your life, Zozo. They're monstrous people. They capture and experiment on everyone who's different, trying to take their special powers and use them for their own gain. I used to be part of their whole organization until I decided enough was enough. I needed to take them down, and over the next 100 days, you can help me take them down.
After what they did to me and Robbie, I'm happy to lend a hand in taking these bad guys down.
That's the spirit. But we can't be seen together, Zozo. If we are, there's too much of a risk we'll both get taken out. Take this stone sword, axe, and stone pickaxe. Go make your own secret base. We'll talk again soon.
My instructions were clear. I took the sword, axe, and pickaxe and left, going deep into the Black Forest. I cut down some trees to make a clearing and mined some stone. Then I started building myself a basic base to spend the night, adding a nice furnished room and a bed to make myself feel safe from the mobs at night. I stood back to appreciate my small and proud base, and I was really pleased with my work. But then, I heard some royal guards coming towards the forest.
There's that diamond venom! Get him!
Stay away from my base, guys, or you're gonna find out that I'm really a lethal protector. They didn't listen. Instead, they charged in, and I used my super strength to beat the living stuffing out of them. That's what you get for messing with the diamond symbiote. And giving those royal guards a beatdown also gave me enough XP to level up, becoming bigger, stronger, and amazingly, having 50 hearts. In a Looks like I can use my super strong symbiote arms to climb walls. I climbed the walls of my little base and sat on the roof, admiring the beautiful scenery of the Black Forest. From day 6 to day 8, I continued working on my base, adding some couches and bookshelves to my living area. When I took a break, none other than Robbie the Redstone Golem came walking through the forest right next to my base. I was happy to see him again. Robbie, I'm so happy to see you again. How are things going with you?
Sadly, not good, man. I've been looking for a place to crash, but 2 of the villages I've tried to visit were already destroyed by the time I turned up.
Destroyed? That's terrible.
You said it, man. Something awful is going on out here. You need to stay safe. I'm gonna keep moving, and you should keep your eyes peeled.
Stay safe out there, Robbie. Robbie left, and I was feeling more confused and afraid than ever. I needed to go and speak to Agent Warden as soon as possible. I ran to a secret base and told him everything that Robbie had told me.
Then it seems the situation is already graver than I first thought. I have a few classified missions I need to perform myself, but in the meantime, head to the Sierra Valley and scope it out for any unusual activity. Together, we can stop the worst of this insidious plan before it even starts.
Yes, sir. I'll do whatever I need to.
That's a great attitude, Zozo. Do everything I say, and you'll go far.
From day 9 to day 10, I did exactly what Agent Warden said and made my way out to the Sierra Valley to investigate. I just needed to find out if anything unusual was happening out here. Doesn't look like anything weird is happening out here. Oh, other than that. As it turned out, I hadn't noticed the huge armored piglin running towards me. Yeah, that's certainly pretty unusual. I began to battle the zombified armored piglin, but he was way tougher than the royal guards. Even with all my hearts and my diamond hard skin, he still had me on the ropes. Until suddenly, an armored pillager ran in and shot the zombified armored piglin with a bow and arrow. The second the arrow hit the creature, it seemingly got a lot weaker, and one more strike from my stone sword was enough to defeat it. That was awesome! You really saved my life there. Thank you, armored pillager.
Don't mention it. I've never seen anyone like you. You really can fight. I've got a gang of sellswords who operate out here in the valley. We could use someone like you if you wanted to sign up. It'd be good work and good pay.
It definitely sounds tempting, but I can't right now. I'm sorry. I'm on an incredibly important mission from Agent Warden.
Who?
It doesn't surprise me that you haven't heard of him. He's incredibly secretive. But I'll let him know we had this talk. Thank you again for the help. From day 11 to day 12, I returned to Agent Warden's secret base and told him all about what happened in the Sierra Valley with the piglin and the armored pillager who saved my life. But by the end of the story, Agent Warden didn't seem happy with me.
You even told him my name? You can't do that, Zozo. I thought I told you my mission was top secret. Can you not even follow the most basic of instructions?
I'm so sorry, Agent Warden. I didn't know it would upset you so much. I promise I won't tell anyone else your name. I'll keep your missions top secret.
Good. That's more like it. For your next mission, I need you to go to the Sierra Valley again, the north specifically, and find your way to a research base hidden out there. They're puppets of Area 52, carrying out their evil bidding. If you value your freedom, you'll gather all the information about them you can.
Yes, Agent Warden. I won't let you down this time. But that mission sounded dangerous, so before I could take it on, I needed to upgrade my gear. That's why I ventured down into an abandoned mine in the Black Forest to collect some iron. I mined until I had enough iron ore, which I then smelted into ingots in an abandoned furnace and crafted into a full set of iron armor, an iron sword, iron axe, and iron pickaxe. But it wasn't all easy. I was detected and attacked by a bunch of spiders while I was down there. This is what I get for shining bright like a diamond. It didn't take me long to defeat the spiders with my iron sword. Then it was time to prove myself to Agent Warden once again. From day 13 to day 15, I ventured out through the Sierra Valley until I found what looked like a small research base. It was crawling with scientists. Guess it's time to play detective and ask some tough questions. I snuck in and found one of the researchers alone. I cornered him and used my intimidating diamond venom look to get his undivided attention. Listen here, you're gonna tell me everything you know about your bosses at Area 52, or else!
What? Area 52 aren't our bosses.
Liar! I have it on good authority that you do all their evil bidding, so you better start telling the truth.
I am telling the truth. The only time we ever collaborated was on the Warden project.
Wait, the what project?
I've told you too much already. Just please leave me alone.
Yes, I will. I'm so sorry for bothering you. I left the research base and started heading across the Sierra Valley. Something about all of this was terribly wrong, and I needed to get some answers from Agent Warden immediately. From day 16 to day 19, I made my way through the Black Forest back to Agent Warden's secret base as quickly as possible. But on the way, I ran into Robbie the Redstone Golem again. Robbie, what's wrong this time?
Zozo, I found out some terrifying news, and I needed to tell you as soon as possible. The one who's been destroying whole villages is some kind of genetically enhanced warden, and he lives in this forest.
Genetically enhanced warden? Oh no, no! I've had this all wrong! I need to get back to that research base and warn them! But by the time I'd crossed the Sierra Valley and reached the research base, it was already too late. The research base was in ruins, and who else was standing in the rubble but Agent Warden? I decided to rush in and confront him. Agent Warden, how could you? Why are you doing this? These people aren't under the orders of Area 52 at all!
Oh, Zozo, as naive and small-minded as ever. You really are a diamond venom in the rough, aren't you?
I don't know the full extent of your evil plan, but one thing I do know is that I'm not going to be a part of it, whatever awful thing you want to do.
Be careful, Zozo. If you're not with me, you're against me.
Then I guess I'm against you. You're about to find out just how strong a diamond venom really is.
But Zozo, all symbiotes like you have two weaknesses: fire and sound!
Agent Warden unleashed a hugely powerful sonic boom out of his chest. It was a direct hit on me, and as soon as it connected, I fell unconscious. From day 20 to day 22, I woke up in the ruins of the Sierra Valley research base. Agent Warden was gone, and it looked like there was only one surviving scientist, the same one I'd interrogated earlier.
You there. Zozo, was it? I'm Dr. Hardy. I saw that you tried to defend us against that terrible monster, and even though the destruction he caused was awful, it means a lot to know you're on our side.
I'm still so sorry I couldn't help more, Dr. Hardy. I have no idea why Agent Warden just turned like that, but I have a feeling that if we work together, we can find out why. Want to come stay at my base and team up?
That sounds like an excellent idea, Zozo. I want to get back against this monster any way I can.
Dr. Hardy and I returned to my base, and I began working on a new room for him. It had an area for him to sleep, and an area for him to conduct any scientific experiments he needed to.
Thank you, Zozo. This will do nicely.
From day 23 to day 26, I made a trek back to the Red Desert, where I originally spawned, to see if I missed anything. If I was wrong about Agent Warden, I've got to make sure I pay more attention to things from now on. I carefully looked around and noticed there was an iceologer in trouble.
Someone, please! I need a protector!
An armored skeleton was running them down, and it seemed like it would catch them soon. I had to do something. Don't worry, Diamond Venom is here. I jumped into the path of the armored skeleton and hit him with my iron sword. It got his attention, but he wasn't looking that damaged from the attack. I had succeeded at making the armored skeleton attack me instead of the iceologer, but now it seemed I would have to deal with a strong and fast mob all on my own. It wasn't an easy fight, but in the end, I took home the W. The iceologer was delighted.
That was amazing. We make a good team.
You said it, iceologer. It's almost like a symbiotic relationship. Like a symbiote. Defeating the armored skeleton to save that iceologer had reminded me of my true strength and caused my powers to evolve. I now had 75 hearts and could dash to quickly close the gap with enemies. From day 27 to day 31, I was still in the Red Desert when I came across a herd of sheep. They were looking for grass to eat, but couldn't find any. I guess they must have been lost. This way, sheep, there's plenty of grass to graze on in the Black Forest. Back at the base, I made sure to build a pen for the sheep around some of that delicious grass I mentioned. Delicious for sheep, at least. This Diamond Venom is on an all-meat diet. Later on, I was walking through the base when I ran into the iceologer I had protected in the desert.
Hey, Zozo! Thanks again for your help the other day.
Hey, iceologer, when did you get here?
Oh, I've been here for a while. I noticed you have some scientists doing research here, so I thought I could help out in a big way. Follow me.
I followed the iceologer to another part of the base and saw what he was talking about. He had upgraded the base with a research watchtower. The scientists are gonna love this. Meanwhile, somewhere in a secret place, Agent Warden was plotting the next phase of the Warden Project. And whatever that entailed was probably super evil.
Everything is going according to my super secret plan. That's because you're so good at being evil, Warden. I agree, Pigless. Soon it will be time for you to play your role in how things proceed. It is an honor to serve you, sir. Pigless will make sure your every order is carried out without fail.
From day 32 to day 35, I went to Area 52 to see if I could get any more answers out of the Royal Guards. Even if they didn't know anything else about what Agent Warden was up to, I could still reason with them and form an alliance.
Ah, it's Diamond Venom. There's no reasoning with him. Battle formation.
The Royal Guards fought against me, but I defended myself by using my armor to reduce the damage from their attacks. Hold it, guys. I really think we can work this out.
He's trying to reason with us. I guess we were wrong about him. That's the first time we've been wrong about anything.
The Royal Guards took me to the office of their top agent, Agent Horace.
So, you must be that Diamond Venom that escaped from our holding cell a while back. It's a shame I never got to meet you in person.
Is that because you were going to do some uncalled for experiments on me?
What? No. What do you think we do around here? We thought that a diamond symbiote like you had the potential to be turned towards the side of good. That's why we brought you here.
I'm glad you guys weren't up to anything sinister. You definitely could have been nicer about it, though.
The kinds of superpowered monsters we deal with, it's hard not to go overboard, especially after the Warden Project made us responsible for another monster.
You mean Agent Warden? What is he up to?
I can tell you it's something most secretive and most definitely sinister. We've been keeping tabs on him, but he's operating in the shadows now.
I want to help you take him down. He betrayed me, and I don't like that kind of thing.
Good. We could use a Venom like you on our side. Until Agent Warden is defeated, we'll make you a temporary secret agent.
Agent Diamond Venom. I like the sound of that. From day 36 to day 39, I went mining for iron to fix up my armor. If I'm going to be playing the part of a secret agent, I should look like I've got the best gear. I dug down deep into the mining area and managed to strike iron. There was plenty of iron to go around, enough to fix my entire set of iron armor. There were some diamonds down there as well. I must have had a knack for finding them because I was a Diamond Venom myself. Diamonds are a diamond's best friend. Wait, what did I say? The diamonds weren't even the rarest treasure that I found in the mine. The honor went to the powerful battle axe that I found lodged in a wall. I went above ground with the spoils of my mining excursion and fixed up my armor. I finished just in time for the iceologer to come in and talk to me.
Hey, Zozo.
Actually, it's Agent Zozo.
Right. Anyway, I was thinking we should expand our team. There's someone I want you to go talk to. They should be waiting for you at the Shattered Glacier.
From day 40 to day 43, I went to the Shattered Glacier where the iceologer said I could meet our new contact. I was surprised and relieved to see that it was my old friend Robbie the Redstone Golem.
I heard Area 52 made you a temporary agent. They are no friends of mine, but it's good to see that you're moving up in the world.
Whatever it takes to stop that rampaging Agent Warden. What did you call me here to talk about?
I wanted to ask if I could join your supergroup. Even if we're only working together in secret, this world needs protectors.
I was about to ask him what he had in mind when a giant pigman ran towards us and stopped right next to us. It was Pigless, the new minion that was sent by Agent Warden.
You were too easy to follow, Diamond Venom. Time to carry out Agent Warden's orders.
And what would those be?
There's no point in asking me that question. I'm not telling you.
Pigless smashed a big hole in the ground to show off how strong he was. He's tough, Robbie. Do you think we could take him if we teamed up?
Maybe, but for now, we should get somewhere safe to have the rest of our conversation.
I nodded, and the two of us ran away as Pigless continued to smash his way across the Shattered Glacier. From day 44 to day 49, I was lying low in my base when I was visited by Agent Horace. He really must have been the top agent because I didn't even see him come in.
Agent Zozo, I've got some key intel and a new assignment for you.
Took you long enough. This Diamond Venom is on the job, whatever it is.
There is an object known as the Destroyer, which was once in our possession at Area 52. We believe that in the right hands, it has the power to take down any bad guy.
Even Agent Warden?
Now, Diamond Venom, just focus on finding the Destroyer and getting it to us. We'll handle the rest.
Where can I find the Destroyer?
It was last sighted in the Sierra Valley biome. You should head back there and search for it.
Won't let you down, Agent Horace. From day 50 to day 53, on Horace's orders, I went to the Sierra Valley biome to learn more about the destroyer. It looked like I wasn't the only agent on the case. A royal guard was already here, probably sent by Horace too. Hey there, Agent. I'm Agent Zozo. I'm looking for the destroyer too.
Shh, keep your voice down. We don't know who's listening. I'll tell you what I know about the destroyer, but you need a promise to keep it a secret.
I promise.
The truth about the destroyer is that we made it in Area 52 using some rare materials from another dimension. Those materials are what gave the item its unmatched destructive power.
What were the materials? And what dimension did they come from?
That's classified. The point is, we were so impressed by these materials that we started to use them on a different project, the Warden Project.
Let me guess, that was how Agent Warden got his superpowers.
It was what made him a supervillain. The materials gave him destructive sonic abilities that were out of control. That's why we need a weapon like the Destroyer to take him out.
I understand now. You keep looking around here. I'm gonna go back to the base for now. I left the Royal Guard to keep searching. That's when I saw a battle between an Iron Chicken and a skeleton. The Iron Chicken looked like she would make a good addition to the super group I was forming with the others. I went to help her in the fight, but the Iron Chicken had already won by the time I even got a hit in. Whoa, you're strong. Do you want to join my superhero team?
Sorry, Diamond Venom, but Iron Chicken works alone.
She ran off right after saying that. I guess not everyone wants to team up with me. From day 54 to day 57, I was traveling through the Red Desert when I ran into none other than Pigless, Agent Warden's big brute of a henchman. What do you want, Pigless?
I only want what Agent Warden orders me to want. That's how loyal of a henchman I am.
Okay, and what does Agent Warden want?
He ordered me to take out the trash, and the trash is you.
Pigless hit me hard, sending me flying across the desert. His super strength was so much stronger than mine, and I was practically super duper strength. I fought back, but I was losing a lot of hearts to the big pig's punches.
You really are trash. Just call me the trash compactor.
Actually, I prefer to be recycled, and by that I mean live to fight another day. I knew I couldn't win, so I ran away from Pigless. He might have been strong, but sure was slow. While his henchman was keeping me busy, Agent Warden was in his secret base, developing a personal teleporter that would take him between dimensions at will.
Once I harness the true destructive contained in the other dimensions, I will be unstoppable.
From day 58 to day 62, I met with the scientist who's been living in my base to see what he's been up to. How's the research been going, Dr. Hardy?
I've got amazing things to tell you about Zozo. The statue I've been working on is really coming along. It'll be one of the great achievements when we're done building it.
Awesome work!
There is one slight issue though. I've run out of building materials. Do you think you could fetch us more?
Of course, I was just heading down to the mine anyway. I returned to where I had been mining before and dug further into the area with the diamonds. I was determined to get even more of them so I could get a complete set of diamond gear to match my diamond body. I also made sure to get more stone and iron while I was there so the scientists could continue work on the statue. Once I had enough of everything, I left the mine and gave the scientists what they had been looking for. Then I went to the crafting table and made myself a diamond sword, diamond boots, and a diamond helmet. Diamond Venom is more diamond than ever! From day 63 to day 66, I received another visit from Agent Horace. He must really want me to find that destroyer. I looked around like you told me to, but I haven't found it anywhere.
That's all right, Agent Zozo. The Royal Guards and I have done that part of the job ourselves. We have reason to believe that the destroyer somehow crossed dimensions back to where it originally came from.
The destroyer is in another dimension?
Yes, in another world known as the End.
How can I get there from here?
Take a look at this portal we installed in your base.
Agent Horace led me to an incomplete end portal, which at the moment wasn't working. I wonder where they even got this portal, but I didn't want to question Agent Horace. What do I have to do in order to reactivate the end portal?
No idea. We've never gotten any farther than this, but if it does activate, you should let us know post-haste.
From day 67 to day 70, I kept an eye on the end portal that Area 52 had installed in my base. There were no signs of activity, and I wondered if I would ever get the chance to get the destroyer. I was relieved of this duty when Robbie, the redstone golem, showed up again. Hey Robbie, what are you up to?
We've got ourselves a new objective, Zozo. There's some trouble down at the Shattered Glacier, and we should go help out.
What's the problem?
One dangerous mob called the Skeleton Jackal might be a new supervillain.
Leave it to me, Robbie. I arrived at the Shattered Glacier and saw exactly what Robbie was talking about. The Skeleton Jackal had claimed the Shattered Glacier as his own territory.
Diamond Venom, you're too late. I, the Skeleton Jackal, will soon be the most powerful new villain out there.
Sorry, but I already have an arch nemesis, and he's not you.
I'll make you take me seriously.
The Skeleton Jackal attacked me with his claws, but I fought back with my trusty battle axe. We were evenly matched in damage, but my diamond armor and diamond skin made my defenses that much stronger.
You might be durable, Diamond Venom, but this fight isn't over by a long shot.
Stop this! We don't have to fight! What if instead of a villain, you decided to be an anti-hero? You can still be scary, but you also get to do the right thing.
Anti-hero, huh? I guess I could give it a try.
Wow, it worked! Welcome to the team, Skeleton Jackal. From day 71 to day 74, my base was under attack by Pigless, who was using his brute force to smash giant holes into the surrounding terrain.
Piggy power!
Stop it, Pigless! I used my dash ability and started swinging my battle axe at Pigless, inflicting damage on him.
Ouch! That axe hurts! Can I have it?
Pigless punched me, causing me to drop the battle axe. He picked it up himself and started swinging it at me. I equipped my diamond sword and continued to fight, but Pigless was even more deadly with the battle axe in his hand. Give that back, it's not yours.
It is now. Eat this.
Pigless wound up a big punch and sent me careening straight into a hill and caused me to get heavily dazed. When I got back up, he was already gone. It was no use trying to get my battle axe back now. It looked like my base was totally wrecked too. Pigless! I was really sad, so I went to the river to be alone for a bit. After a while, Isolager came by to cheer me up.
Hey, Zozo, I know you're feeling down about losing your weapon, but I've rebuilt the base and added a perimeter wall to keep out future attacks.
You're the best, Isolager. I'm glad you're part of my supergroup. Meanwhile, back at Agent Warden's base, my arch nemesis had gained the powers of the interdimensional energies he was attempting to harness.
Area 52 thought I was a mistake and tried to destroy me. Their real mistake was not going further with their experiments.
From day 75 to day 78, Agent Horus came to check on the base and give me a brand new weapon to replace my battle axe, the Javelin.
We heard what happened with Pigless. It sounds like you've really gotten on Agent Warden's bad side.
That Pigless is a real menace. He's going down, just like Agent Warden.
You're in luck. We've got the location of Agent Warden's secret base. We figured we'd send you over there to do some real damage.
I'll do more than that. This might just be business for Area 52, but it's always personal for me. I took the Javelin and set off through the Black Forest toward Agent Warden's secret base. If Pigless was there, I'd be sure to get my revenge from last time. From day 79 to day 84, I was sneaking around the outside of Agent Warden's secret base, and sure enough, I found exactly who I was looking for, Pigless.
Agent Zozo! Looks like recycling day came early. I'll break you down like a cardboard box.
You're the one who's gonna be broken, Pigless. I threw my javelin at Pigless, catching him off guard, and then I used the opportunity to hit him a bunch of times with my diamond sword.
Not bad. I didn't expect that new weapon. But did you really forget your old weapon so soon?
No, please, Pigless, anything but battle axe! Pigless swung the battle axe that he stole from me, taking off a ton of hearts. He was wielding the weapon as if it was meant for him. Once again, my diamond sword couldn't stand up to him, especially since my super strength was weaker than his.
I really like being a henchman, you know. When I secretly get rid of someone, Agent Warden rewards me with treasure. I wonder how rich I'll be after I deal with you.
Oh no, am I going to lose? As Pigless prepared to deliver the decisive blow with my own battle axe, I heard a voice from the trees. It was the Skeleton Jackal.
Zozo, don't forget that you're Diamond Venom, a shining inspiration to anti-heroes everywhere.
You're right. Inspired by Skeleton Jackal's words, I grew into a form powerful enough to take on Pigless, even with the battle axe. I had 100 hearts and diamond venom claws that were stronger than any diamond sword. With my new form, he was dropped in no time.
Well, I did the best I could, but sometimes a henchman is just a henchman.
Your boss, Agent Warden, is next, Pigless. And with that, Pigless vanished. From day 85 to day 89, I went back to my base to tell everyone that I had defeated Pigless in battle. I went and visited the scientist first to inquire about the state of the statue.
I've made some amazing strides in the pursuit of the statue, but I'm still missing some materials. Could you grab me some more wood?
Sure, let me grab some from my chest. I took some wood from my chest and brought it back to Dr. Hardy, who then escorted me to the statue. It was a statue of Dr. Hardy halfway through transforming into normal Venom. I guess he must have been a big fan. Afterwards, I returned to the side of the end portal where Agent Horace was waiting for me.
It seems that Agent Warden has already gone to the end to harness the materials there. If the destroyer falls into his hands, he'll be even more unstoppable than a big pigman with a battle axe.
That's pretty specific, but I totally understand what you mean.
These Eyes of Ender that the Royal Guards have gathered should be able to jumpstart the portal. Get in there and make us proud.
Yes, sir. He activated the portal and I stepped through. Suddenly, I found myself in the Nightshade Forest. This must be the main biome of the dimension known as the End. This is feeling strangely familiar again. Not too far away, I saw the Destroyer lying on the ground. I didn't have time to go and grab it. An Enderman appeared out of the trees and started to attack me. Ugh, I guess I've got to deal with the mob first. I used my diamond sword combined with my claw attacks to make the Enderman back off and run away. With the mob gone, I picked up the Destroyer and headed back towards the portal. From day 90 to day 94, I heard someone sneaking up behind me. It was Agent Warden.
Welcome home, Diamond in the Rough.
This isn't my home. Home is on the other side of this portal, and I intend on going back. After I defeat you, that is.
You won't defeat me, Agent Zozo. You're just like me. The diamond symbiote that grants you all of your powers is from the End. That's why this place is your home.
I'm from the End?
Yes, and that's why I want you on my side. I need someone to help me reap the rewards that exist in this world. The materials that gave me powers could make an army of Sonic warriors.
I'm not joining you. Area 52 trusted me to take you down, and that's what I'll do.
You're making a mistake. Agent Horace and the others are weak, and that's why they capture and create super beings to fight their battles. I think we should choose our own battles, don't you?
I actually agree. That's why I'm choosing my battle to be me versus you. I threw my javelin, but Agent Warden took it like it was nothing and bombarded me with a sonic blast. Even though I'd gotten stronger, sonic attacks were still my weakness. His powers had increased so much that I was powerless against him. Agent Warden hit me with a few melee attacks before knocking me out and stealing the Destroyer.
I'll be having that. See you on the other side, Diamond in the Rough.
He ran off through my end portal. From day 95 to day 97, I was able to muster enough strength to crawl my way to the portal. There's no time to lose. I have to warn Agent Horace. And with that, I crawled into the portal. When I got to the secret research lab of Area 52, I found that all of the Royal Guards had been wiped out by Agent Warden in a destruction spree. This was definitely the Destroyer's handiwork. I kept searching around until I stumbled upon Agent Horace. He was the last one alive and was hanging on by a thread.
You sure kept us waiting, huh?
Agent Horace, I'm sorry. I couldn't stop him. He used my weakness against me.
No, Agent Zozo, I'm sorry. It was our foolishness and greed that led to Agent Warden's rise to power. If only we had been more careful and not tried to turn what we didn't understand into weapons.
You couldn't have known he'd go this evil.
It's all right. Area 52 will be no more after I'm gone. I need you to clean up our last mess, Diamond Venom. Make sure you stop him.
Horace died, trying to harness the forces beyond his control. Now Agent Warden was trying to do the same thing. I'd make sure it didn't end well for him either. On day 98, I found my base had been destroyed in another one of Agent Warden's evil rampages. The scientist, Isologer, and Skeleton Jackal were all destroyed too. Every member of my team, gone. This is unforgivable. I knew Agent Warden was my arch nemesis, but I never thought he'd go this far. I stood there in total shock for a long time until I heard some familiar heavy footsteps. Robbie.
Agent Zozo! No, just Zozo. I'm sorry that I couldn't protect the rest of the team. He was too strong.
Don't beat yourself up about it, Robbie. I feel a bit better knowing that at least my very first friend is still here with me.
You know what? I feel the same way. You're alive, and I'm alive. We've gotta do something to make that count.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We're gonna take back the destroyer, and then we're gonna give Agent Warden payback for everything he's done!
Now that's the symbiote I know. Let's rock!
On day 99, Robbie and I closed in on Agent Warden's secret base, which hadn't changed location since the time I fought Pigless there.
I'll lure Agent Warden out with a distraction. Then you surprise attack him and steal the destroyer.
Sounds good. Be careful, Robbie. I went to hide behind a tree as Robbie stepped out and waved his arms.
Hey Warden, look at me! I'm so destroyable! Haha, come destroy me!
Sure enough, Agent Warden stepped out of the base with the destroyer in his hands. He started moving towards Robbie. Now is my chance! I used my dash ability to rush at Agent Warden. Just as planned, I was able to grab the destroyer and run away. Robbie turned and ran away too.
Haha, I'm not destroyed! Better luck next time!
When we got back to the base, I immediately took a closer look at the destroyer. It was definitely made with the same materials that made Agent Warden's sonic blast so strong. It was also from the end, like my symbiote. Maybe if I… Well, here goes nothing! I absorbed the material in the destroyer using my symbiote, and I could feel that it was enhancing my diamond skin to a whole new level of durability. It worked! Now my souped up diamond skin will be able to resist his sonic attacks. On day 100, I returned to Agent Warden's secret base for our final showdown. I of course brought Robbie with me. We entered his base and went downstairs. This time, Agent Warden was already waiting for us in his underground lair. This stops here, Agent Warden. You're not destroying anything else in your quest for mad science.
When will you learn, symbiote? My sonic attacks will render you immobile once again!
He fired a sonic blast at me, but I didn't even flinch this time. Because despite its name, the destroyer had made me indestructible.
How did you do that? I knew your weakness!
It's like you always said, I am a diamond in the rough, and now this diamond is gonna rough you up. I called forth the destroyer from within my symbiote and attacked using it. The shockwave smashed the surrounding area and did serious damage to Agent Warden.
He's weak. My turn.
Robbie rushed in and smacked him with his golem arms a couple times. I joined in with a diamond claw attack. Agent Warden tried to fight back, but his powers were useless against me now.
Please, no more.
This is for everyone at Area 52 and everyone at my base too.
No, please! All I wanted was to be able to blow up whatever I wanted! I was just acting mysterious to look cool!
Well, now the truth is out, and the truth is, you got what was coming to you. Then, I swung the destroyer one last time, and he was gone! Leaving me and Robbie to celebrate the fact that the world was safe again. On day 1, I spawned in as the Grim Reaper. Then I noticed I was tiny, and I only had 3 hearts. What is this nonsense? I looked around and saw that I was in front of a castle. Ooh, this looks interesting. I'll take a look inside. I opened the door and called out, "Anybody home?" Maybe one of my friends lived here or something. I started wandering around and found myself in a throne room. What is that? I saw a man with a mutant wither skeleton. He was holding a scythe. Wait, I think that's my scythe. How did you get it? The man screamed in rage and pointed at me.
Destroy him!
A bunch of zombies came out from the back room, and I gasped in shock. Without even thinking, I fired an icy blast that froze some of the zombies solid. Huh, that's interesting. I guess this is because I'm as cold as death. I ran out the door and down the stairs as the zombies followed me. That was not what I was expecting. And why does that guy have an army of zombies? That's not right. I found a small cave and decided to sleep there for the night. Tomorrow, I'll find out what's going on. On day 2, I left the cave to go exploring. I walked for half a day until I found my way to the Atom Forest. I don't really have a home, so I guess I'm gonna have to make one. I started collecting some wood to make a crafting table and a wooden pickaxe. After some additional mining and crafting, I had some simple stone tools and weapons. Well, it's better than nothing. I had been working so hard all day, so when I stopped, I realized I was hungry. What does a Grim Reaper eat? I found some cows and pigs and cooked up some food for myself. It didn't do anything to help. In fact, it made me feel sick. Gross! I need to find something else. I noticed that it had gotten dark. Suddenly, a group of zombies popped out and started attacking me. With my new stone sword, I was able to take them out easily. They had dropped some meat, and I stared at it hungrily. Maybe this will help me? I ate the meat, and sure enough, my hearts were restored. I feel much better now. I made it back to my base and worked on a few more things before heading to bed. On day 3, I went back out to find more materials for the base. It was safe enough, but I wanted to make some improvements. It turned out to be a nice day. I hope nothing too crazy happens today. I realized I had spoken too soon, because just then, I heard an awful crash. I ran to see what the noise was when I saw a Dread Queen fighting a bunch of zombies. Hey, leave her be! I rushed forward with my weapons. The zombies started to attack me when I remembered my trick at the castle. I fired out some ice blasts and froze up some of those nasty zombies. The others noticed and started to run away.
Nice job, Death. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Did you shrink?
Who are you?
I'm Famine. Do you know me?
I'm sorry, no.
Oh, this must have been Lord Terror's doing. I knew he was up to no good.
I was so confused at this point. Famine could see that I was overwhelmed.
You are the Grim Reaper, or Death. I'm Famine, and we have 2 friends, War and Pestilence. We establish order in the world. But Lord Terror, as he calls himself, started messing with stuff. He's been infiltrating the villages and turning people into undead.
That's horrible. Those souls need to be freed and move on.
I thought that's what you were planning, but nobody has seen you for a while. Now I know something bad happened. You're smaller and you don't look like yourself.
This is a lot to take in. How about we get back to my base? It's not a castle, but it's safer than out here.
Sure.
Famine and I made our way back to my base just in time for the sun to set. On days 4 to 5, I helped Famine make a little home at my base.
I was driven out of my home by the undead. I guess Lord Terror is getting more powerful as the days go on.
The house wasn't too fancy, but Famine seemed to like it, and she thanked me. No problem, anything for a friend. I went out to look for some more supplies when I saw a group of skeletons near a cave entrance. I'm Death, surely they won't want to harm me. As I approached, they seemed friendly, but then they started shooting me with their bows. Hey, we aren't enemies! Honestly, I didn't know anymore. I was just a baby after all. I used my sword to attack, and soon enough, they were all gone. Hey, what's that? I noticed a bow on the ground, and I picked it up. It had an enchantment of flame on it. Nice, this will come in handy. On days 6 to 8, well out in the forest near my base, I gathered some meat from some more cows and pigs. Famine got hungry a lot after all. I'm gonna keep working and getting stronger. Lord Terror doesn't stand a chance against me.
Is that so?
I looked, and to my surprise, it was Lord Terror. He had a few zombies around him. Let those innocent souls go. You don't have a right to keep them here. Lord Terror laughed and swung the scythe around.
I'm the Lord of Death now, Little Reaper. I won your scythe fair and square.
What are you talking about? He seemed tired of talking, so he swung at me instead. Whoa! He was fast. I tried to dodge him, but he kept getting hits in.
I beat you once. I will beat you again.
I gotta get out of here. I ran as fast as my little legs could carry me. As I did, I heard Lord Terror laughing from behind me.
That's right, Little Reaper. Run away. I will see you soon enough.
On days 9 to 10, I made it back to the base. Famine could tell I was hurt, and she tried her hardest to help me.
It's okay, Death. You will grow stronger and eventually beat Lord Terror. He's just a silly little monster trying to steal other people's things.
I felt a little bit better after our talk, but I still felt exhausted.
Oh, I almost forgot. I have a surprise for you.
She brought me outside to show me a statue she was beginning to make.
Ta-da!
It's great, Famine! Is it a tent?
No, silly. Do you really not know what it is?
I looked again. Can you tell what it is?
I also made some other upgrades while you were gone.
She showed me the lanterns and a small archery range. Wow, you've really outdone yourself.
It's the least I can do for a friend.
Famine was awesome. I was glad I was able to find her. I hoped our other friends were doing okay. I would go looking for them soon. On days 11 to 12, I had a vivid dream. I was a fully grown Grim Reaper with my scythe at my side. I was living in the castle that I had escaped from on day 1. Everything is as it should be.
Not quite.
I looked and saw Lord Terror, except he looked like a normal villager.
I believe we have a game that needs playing, Death.
With his dark powers, Lord Terror began to steal away my energy and my ability. He shapeshifted into his mutant wither skeleton self as I became a sad little baby Reaper. Ah! I woke up in horror at the nightmare I had just had. I rushed to Famine to tell her about it. She shook her head.
So that's what happened. I knew you made a deal with a dying human, but I didn't know you lost all your power in the process.
That can't be it. Why am I back, but as a baby? Why can he control the dead? Famine shook her head.
Maybe our friends know. I think it's about time we go find them.
On days 13 to 15, I went out to explore. I was hoping to find war or pestilence, but they didn't seem to be anywhere. I hope they weren't captured or anything. I realized I was back in the area where I had seen Famine for the first time. There were a bunch of zombies milling around still. I guess they just expected her to come back. Get lost! I drew my bow and defeated them one by one. I didn't realize it until now, but I was releasing their souls from their bodies. I was freeing them. Nice! I managed to release all their souls when I felt a power coursing through me. I grew in size and became an older Grim Reaper. I'm bigger and I have 30 hearts. I realized I could also now turn invisible for short periods. That'll come in handy. I can't wait to try this out later. On days 16 to 19, I found a cave and decided to mine for some more materials. This looks promising. Hopefully I can find some iron in here. As I was venturing deeper into the cave, I saw a group of skeletons standing right on top of an iron deposit. It looks like I'm gonna have to take care of that. I drew my bow. They noticed me immediately and began shooting. Come on, guys, I just need some iron. After just a few more shots, they were all gone, their bows and arrows scattered around me. I mined the iron without any more trouble and got to work. I smelted the iron into ingots with a furnace, then was able to make a new sword, pickaxe, and some other tools. Yes, things are looking up. On days 20 to 22, I started to head back to my base when I noticed I was being followed. I went invisible briefly and waited for them to approach. Then, as the figure approached, I turned visible again and jumped out.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm a friend.
He was a crimson wizard, and the red of his outfit made me think of anger, which then made me think, are you War?
In the flesh. Yeah, I thought you looked kind of different. You're, not as tall as you used to be.
I told him what happened, and he whistled.
That sounds awful. Hopefully you can get your scythe and your castle back. Those are pretty sick.
Thanks?
No problem.
I invited him back to my base, and he happily agreed.
And I thought my house was a fortress, you know, being war and all. But those pesky undead got inside and started breaking everything. So I left. Good thing I ran into you.
We were nearly to the base when we saw Famine running toward us.
Oh, hey, Famine!
She didn't even acknowledge War.
Death! Lord Terror is outside. He is threatening to take down the base. Wait, War?
Sheesh, it's like I'm invisible.
Stay here. I'll go see what he wants. If I need help, I'll call for you. War and Famine got to catching up while I approached the entrance. Sure enough, Lord Terror was there with my scythe. I believe that scythe belongs to me.
See now, little Reaper. I won this fair and square. You agreed to the terms.
I don't even remember what happened. And you're just a human. You can't beat death. That's my calling.
You're wrong. The witch gave me the ability to win this power.
Witch? Lord Terror screamed and charged at me. I dodged him and used my Ice Blast ability to try to stop him. It didn't work for some reason. What in the world? He laughed and lunged at me again. I slashed him with my new iron sword. I actually managed to hit him, and he looked at me in shock. I was about to hit him again when he slammed a scythe into the ground, pushing me back.
I'll be back to finish you off.
And with that, Lord Terror ran away.
What a coward.
I'll say.
I looked and saw War and Famine looking out from behind the trees. I did manage to wound him though, so that means I'm getting stronger.
Yeah, but you have a lot of work to do.
On days 23 to 26, I chatted with War about Lord Terror.
You definitely need some upgrades if you're gonna fight Lord Terror and beat him. I can think of a few things that might be useful to you.
Like what?
Well, you definitely need to upgrade your sword. Iron is alright, but you need some diamonds and an enchanting table to improve your attack.
Okay, where should I go? War told me all the places where I would find the supplies. It wasn't a short list. This might take a while.
You want to defeat Lord Terror and get your scythe back, right?
Of course I do.
Then get to it!
I started gathering materials for the enchanting table and managed to make one all by myself.
Good job, Death.
Thanks. If you think I'm doing a good job, be sure to join me on all my other adventures. Just search ZOZO. On days 27 to 31, I went to check on Famine. I hadn't seen her while I was gathering supplies, and I wanted to make sure she was okay. Hey, Famine, how are you liking your house?
It's great! Look what I've been working on!
She led me to the statue, which I could definitely tell was an hourglass. You've made some great progress.
Yeah, well, I'm not quite there yet. I wanted to add something special on top. It's a surprise. Could you get some white and black wool for me?
Sure. I made my way outside to find some sheep to bring back to the base. I found an abandoned village and spotted some sheep in pens. Perfect! As I went to collect them, I heard something approaching. A horde of zombies were coming toward me. They must have been the villagers that used to live here. You guys need a rest, and I'm so sorry Lord Terror is doing this to you. I used my weapons to release the souls from the undead. I was much more powerful and helped them all in just a few moments. Hopefully, you can all be at peace now. I gathered the sheep and managed to bring them all back to the base. It wasn't easy, but I knew that Famine would appreciate it. On days 32 to 35, I went to gather some more food for all of us. Pork seemed like a pretty safe bet. I know the pigs will be easy to find, but I need to wait until dark for the zombies. I decided to set up a little trap for them, and sure enough, they fell right into it.
Impressive, Death.
Who is that?
You don't recognize my voice? Shame on you, old friend.
Then I saw someone step out from behind the mushrooms. Of course I didn't notice her. She was a mushroom lord. She blended in. Pestilence.
Did you shrink?
Yeah, I shrunk. I told Pestilence what had happened, and she hissed in disapproval.
Now, why would you do that, Death? You are too clever to be outsmarted and depowered by some lowly wither skeleton.
That's the thing. I think Lord Terror cheated me. He mentioned something about a witch. I think that he somehow won because of her.
Well, the only witch I know of is Famine.
Hey.
I'm just kidding. I've heard of an apothecary that lives here in the swamp. Maybe that's who he went to.
This is great information. Pestilence agreed to take the food back to the base while I looked for the witch. Hopefully, she could give me more information about Lord Terror. On days 36 to 39, I journeyed further into the fungal patch in search of the witch. I thought for sure that I would find her, but I didn't see a house anywhere. Where in the world is she? I looked around some more when I saw a group of rabbits. They were acting kind of strange, a little too organized. Maybe they're her henchmen or something. I should follow them. Actually, they're probably just stocking up on food. How silly of me to think that they were working for the witch. Then, I noticed that the rabbits all gathered together again. They seemed to be examining each other's food. Okay, I should maybe look somewhere else. Then the rabbits all bounded toward a large mushroom and disappeared. Whoa, where did they go? I quickly followed after them, running straight toward the mushroom. On days 40 to 43, I ran through the fungal patch, chasing the rabbits. What in the world?
Intruder!
A large group of rabbits came bounding toward me.
What are you doing in Our Lady's realm? Did you have an inquiry?
Is this where the witch lives? The rabbits gasped.
You dare call her such a rude name! She is an apothecary of great renown!
Sorry, I just need answers. I don't mean her any harm.
You look like you do.
Then the rabbits started jumping at me. Hey! I didn't want to hurt them, so I just tried to swat them away as nicely as I could.
Death? What are you doing here?
I looked up to see a friendly witch.
Friends, no need to harass Death. I'm sure he has a reason for being here.
The rabbits stopped attacking me and quickly surrounded the woman. Who are you?
I'm Amelia. I wasn't expecting you for quite some time.
I'm not here to collect your soul. I just need to know why you helped Lord Terror.
Lord Terror?
He stole my power and made me regenerate. He took my scythe and is using it to keep souls captive in their undead bodies. Amelia gasped and started to shake her head.
That was Logan Turner. I gave him a potion of luck. He said he needed it in order to fulfill his last dream before he passed. I had no idea he would use it for such an awful thing.
She seemed genuinely upset.
I can't undo what's been done, but maybe this can help you.
She went inside her house and came out with a potion. What is this?
A potion of strength. You will need that in order to get your scythe back.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you again, but hopefully not for a long time.
She waved goodbye as I left her realm, returning to the swamp. On days 44 to 49, I returned to my base. Pestilence, famine, and war were having a good time together. I noticed they had improved their homes as well as the wall of the base. You've been busy.
So have you, my friend. Did you find the witch?
Apothecary, and yes, she was very nice. I told them the whole story and showed them the potion.
That'll be useful later. I'm glad you were able to find her. Probably gave her quite a scare, though.
Just a little bit. We all laughed and chatted for a little bit before Famine jumped up.
Oh, come look at the statue.
I went to look and sure enough, Famine had outdone herself. On top of the hourglass was a skull that looked just like my face. Whoa, it's amazing.
You've been a great friend to us, Steph. It's the least we can do.
We admired the statue together for a little while longer and then went to bed. On days 50 to 53, I woke up to a loud crash. I hurried outside to see what it was, and there were zombies everywhere. I could see Lord Terror standing on the edge of the wall. Come and fight me yourself, Logan.
Don't call me that.
He snarled at me and then swung the scythe. It nearly knocked me over, but it also knocked out some of the undead. Time to be freed, my friends. I used my iron sword on the group of undead, freeing them from their cursed bodies. It took a little while, but I eventually got them all. You can all be at peace now. Just then, I felt a pain in my back. I grew taller and gained more hearts. I looked at my back to see what the pain was and realized that I had grown dark feathery wings. Whoa, this is amazing. I flew up for a minute to survey the damage. This is gonna take some time to fix.
Death!
I looked and saw Famine and Pestilence running toward me. I lowered myself to the ground. What's wrong?
Lord Terror took war. The undead were just a distraction.
No! I slumped to the ground. I thought I could protect everyone, but Lord Terror was too clever. He needed to pay. On days 54 to 57, we all worked hard to fix the base. We gathered supplies, made the walls taller, and added extra security measures, including a small moat. After working all day, we sat down to chat about our next move.
There's no doubt that Lord Terror took war to the castle.
Why do you say that?
Oh yeah, you don't remember. There's a massive dungeon in the basement. It has cages, traps, and all sorts of things. We actually used it to meet there sometimes for brunch.
Sounds lovely.
It was. We should do it again soon.
Famine cleared her throat.
Sorry, but he'll be there for sure. There is a back entrance where we would come in. Quicker that way.
Pestilence gave me directions, and I wrote them down. I needed to find our friend before Lord Terror did something awful. But first, I needed to prepare. On days 58 to 62, I went mining for more diamonds. I needed to make some better armor and weapons for myself, since I had no idea what I might face at the castle. I wasn't having any luck, and was about to go search another cave, when I saw a glimmer just up ahead. Diamonds! I walked forward, then felt something fall on me from above. It was a huge hairy spider, and he had brought some friends. I'm a friend, no need to hurt me. The spiders kept attacking, and I had no choice but to defend myself. Soon enough, they were all gone. Now, on to the diamonds. The deposit was actually really large, and I managed to make armor, plus a new sword and a pickaxe. Sweet! I felt just a little bit more ready to go save war. On days 63 to 66, I noticed that part of the statue had been damaged during the fight. I didn't want to finish it without war, so I just admired it with all its burns and marks. I'll save you, War. I promise.
Hello, Mr. Death, sir!
I looked and saw some of Amelia's rabbit friends gathering around me. You aren't going to jump on me again, are you?
No, sir, we need your help. Amelia has been captured by that Lord Terror man. We don't have the strength to get her back. Could you get her back?
The rabbits looked very concerned. Of course, he has my friend too. He's probably keeping them in the same place.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Death, sir.
I'll be back soon. In the meantime, you can wait here with my friends. They can help you. They agreed to stay while I rescued Amelia. This was going to be a little bit more difficult, but I was determined. And hey, if you like what you've seen so far, don't forget to subscribe. We love having you here with us. On days 67 to 70, I followed the directions to the backdoor entrance of the dungeon. It was hiding behind some trees and bushes. Good job me for thinking ahead. I entered quietly and made my way down, down, down. I didn't hear much for a while, so I thought I was in the clear. What was that? I turned a corner and saw a swarm of zombies blocking the hallway. They saw me and started ambling toward me. Get back! I used my wings to fly over them. I fired my ice blast at them from the air, freezing them solid. Peace, friends. I lowered myself in front of a door and opened it carefully.
Death!
It's about time you showed up.
War and Amelia were stuck in cages, and I quickly broke the bars to free them.
How did you know I was here?
Your loyal little friends told me.
They really are the best, aren't they?
Sure are. Let's get out of here. On days 71 to 74, we made our way back up toward the back door. Then I noticed a lever I hadn't seen before. It was hiding behind a pillar. I wonder what this opens.
Is that a wise idea?
It was my house. I'm sure it'll be fine. I released the lever and the trapdoor opened. I went inside and saw a chest in a small room. There's a chest.
Well, what are you waiting for? Open it.
I opened it, and inside were netherite ingots, gold, diamonds, and some other ingredients for enchanting. Wow! I climbed back up and showed War.
Hey, you can finally make that sword we've been talking about.
Right! We continued out, following the stream of daylight. On days 75 to 78, we finally made it out.
Thank goodness. I was beginning to think that Lord Terror would hold us there forever.
Not so fast.
Lord Terror came around the corner, scythe in hand.
You dare take my witch and my strongest soldier?
I am not a witch.
Then I would never fight for you.
We brandished our weapons as Lord Terror snarled.
Why won't you just die?
He swung the scythe, but I managed to dodge. I then swung my sword and hit Lord Terror. He stepped back, then swung again. He was fast, but I was an equal opponent now. I could sense his fear.
No, 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 no!
He slammed the hilt of the scythe into the ground and blasted us back. Somehow, through some dark magic, he stole my potion of strength and drank it. On day 79 to 84, we all watched in horror as Lord Terror grew and grew and grew. He was enormous!
Oh no!
We need to go! Lord Terror laughed as I picked up my friends and flew away with them. This has to end soon, or Lord Terror is going to take over everything. On days 85 to 89, we arrived safely back at my base. Famine and pestilence came running out to greet us.
Okay, you better not cry, because I'm not good at dealing with emotion.
Amelia saw her rabbits, and they all jumped for joy. It seemed like things were at least a little normal for now.
Death, come! We need to fix that sword of yours.
War took me to upgrade my sword, and then showed me how to enchant it. Wow, this will really help, War. Thanks for everything you've done.
Hey, I love conflict, but not when it involves my friends. It's the fire aspect enchantment. It'll give your sword a burning edge. This will help you to get your scythe back.
How?
Lord Terror doesn't always have the scythe with him. He likes to hang it up in the main corridor and just admire it. I heard him talking about it while we were captured.
This is great information, War.
If you can fight him off long enough to get the scythe back, that'll be the key to stopping Lord Terror for good.
I agreed and went to show my friends. They oohed and awed before Famine spoke up.
Come and see what Pestilence and I did with the help of the rabbits.
They took me over to the statue, which now had wildflowers growing all around the base. On top was the skull, now with flowers and a touch of flames. Guys, this looks awesome.
You are the Lord of Death, but we know you have a soft side.
I do like flowers. I stared at it in awe. I really did have amazing friends. On days 90 to 94, I traveled back to the castle to retrieve my scythe. If I did it while Lord Terror was unaware, surely I would be able to defeat him. As I approached the castle, I decided to just hide next to one of the pillars inside the throne room and stake it out. I could see Lord Terror back to his normal size. Thank goodness. He was standing around, admiring the scythe. That's mine. I waited for a long time before he fell asleep. I quietly opened the door and snuck past him, grabbing the scythe from the wall. I expected to grow into my full form, but something was wrong.
Intruder!
Lord Terror started to charge at me. I brandished my new sword and smacked him backwards. He brought out another potion and drank it before charging at me. He was incredibly fast, and I could barely see him as he struck me. Oh no! My hearts were fading fast since I couldn't defend myself. I ran away, taking the scythe with me.
It won't work for you, little Reaper. You are too late.
I didn't know what he meant, but I flew away before he had a chance to attack me again. I need to fix whatever he did to my scythe, otherwise I'm dead meat. On days 95 to 97, I brought my scythe back to the base and had War examine it.
I don't know what to tell you. It looks normal to me.
Maybe Amelia will know. I took it to her and she examined it.
This is my fault. Lord Terror forced me to make a binding spell. He is now bound to the scythe by an enchantment.
How do I break it?
I'll have to make a counterspell, but it will probably take a few days. It might even break it.
Do it. She worked tirelessly trying to fix the scythe, and I did what I could to assist her. I really need this to work. On day 98, I helped Amelia with what I could, but she said I needed to wait for the result. I made my way outside and admired our base and the statue. It had been a difficult journey so far, but I was glad that I had found my friends, made some new ones, and grown stronger. Even if my scythe didn't work, I knew that I would defeat Lord Terror somehow. Hey, we're really glad that you've been here on this journey too. Be sure to subscribe and search for ZOZO for more videos. Also, comment below on what my next adventure should be. I can't wait to see what you say. On day 99, I went to look for Amelia. She looked a little discouraged.
I don't know if the spell worked. You'll need to wield it in battle to see.
Well, then I guess it's time to go fight Lord Terror.
I'm sorry about all the trouble I've caused. If it wasn't for me, none of this would have happened.
Maybe, but I'm glad it did. I got to find my old friends again, build an awesome base, and meet you. You're an awesome apothecary, Amelia.
Which? But who's keeping track? Go give him, well, you know.
I smiled as I flew off towards the castle, scythe in hand. As I landed on the steps, the door was open for me. The undead were nowhere to be seen, but Lord Terror stood on the steps, sword in hand, potion in the other.
You can't defeat me.
We'll see about that. I took my scythe and slammed the hilt into the ground, causing everything to shake. I felt a surge of power, and I was connected to my weapon again. I grew taller, my hearts increased, and my wings spanned further. You have cheated death, Logan Turner, and for that, you must pay. Lord Terror drank a potion, and he grew taller. As our weapons met, there was a brilliant burst of light.
It's not fair. I am Lord Terror, the new Grim Reaper. I earned that title.
I lifted myself into the air, letting the scythe swing down with a mighty force. You stole that title. I am the rightful Grim Reaper, and now you must move on. Lord Terror screamed before the scythe made contact, and in a burst of smoke, he was gone. On day 100, I flew back to the base triumphant and glorious in my final form. Everyone cheered as I descended, and they even tried to hug me.
You're our hero! The world is finally right again!
And that was the honest truth. On day 1, I spawned in the Sika Woods as an ICE Spiderman! This is awesome! I didn't think the world's greatest web slinger could get any cooler, but hey, here I am! Things weren't all peachy though. For starters, I only had 10 hearts, and for seconds, a giant buff pigless came barging through the trees towards me.
Spider-Man, I found you!
Wait, what? I don't understand.
Don't play dumb with me, Spider-Man. I'm Pigless Polly, the biggest, meanest, smartest, and also most beautiful pigless in all the land. And you've been trying to mess with my plans for years. Don't think that turning your suit blue would confuse me. I'm a genius.
But I'm just Zozo playing Spider-Man. There's been some kind of mistake.
You will confound me not, puny spider. You better run, or my bubble brawler boys will beat you into a spidery pulp.
I could tell when I wasn't wanted, and this was one of those times. I turned and ran as quickly as I could. What did she mean about her bubble brawler boys? But life soon answered my question. A gang of bubble monsters emerged from the trees and started chasing me. Oh, there they are! Using my enhanced spider speed, I was able to escape and find a hiding place for the night. Always great to spawn into a world where someone already has a grudge against me. I need to figure this out before it's too late. On day 2, when I got the sense that the coast was cleared, I spider climbed out of my hiding spot and started to explore the woods a little more casually. This place is actually pretty beautiful. Maybe I should work on building a home around here. That's when one of the bubble monsters jumped out in front of me.
Oh, I'll build you a home, Spidey. 6 feet under. You've got a lot of nerve showing your face around here. Lady Polly wants us to destroy you on sight.
I still don't know what I did to upset your beast of a boss, but if you think this icy superhero won't be fighting back, you've just made your last mistake. We battled hand to hand. What the bubble monster didn't know was I had super spider strength, so my hits really packed a punch. After a few well-aimed strikes, I burst his bubble and moved on. Wow, beating that guy up really worked up an appetite. I need to find myself some nosh. Lucky for me, there were plenty of trees around. I collected the yummy pears from the leaves. Tasty! I knocked down the rest of the pear tree with my spider fists. With the spare wood, I made myself a wooden pickaxe. Then, I dug into the ground and collected enough stone to assemble a stone pickaxe, stone axe, and a stone sword. I've got that caveman swag now. With my new stone axe, I gathered more wood and built myself a little spider base with a room for me to spend the night indoors. Nice and cozy. Things are gonna get better and better. On day 3, I left my base and went out to explore the Jacaranda forest. It was a gorgeous sight to see. Even if there aren't any useful resources around here, it's worth it for the view. But just because the view was breathtaking didn't mean that everyone who lived there was chill. Case in point, a big angry mutated bee ran over to me.
What do you think you're doing here?
I'm walking here?
Are you making fun of me?
No, I don't even know who you are.
The name's Benson, Barry B. Benson, and I was just a normal bee until my human wife left me and I got turned into the superpowered mutant abomination.
I don't see how that's my problem.
Well, I gotta take it out on somebody, don't I?
Barry B. Benson attacked me with furious intensity, and even with my spider strength, I couldn't defeat his divorced mutant rage. Instead, I ran away as he fumed loudly in the background. He sounded like he should chill out or maybe get into jazz. On my way out of the Jacaranda forest, I ran into a sad-looking spider. Seeing as I myself was also a spider, I decided to go over and ask her if she was okay. Hey, I'm Zozo. Who are you? Is everything okay?
I'm Spider Queen, and sadly, things aren't okay.
Oh wow, Spider Queen? Does that mean you're the queen of all spiders?
No, I'm actually a one-spider tribute act to the band Queen. They're my favorite. But Piglet hates Queen, and she won't let me perform anymore.
That's horrible. Why not come back to my base? You can work on your act there.
That's amazing, Zozo. I want it all.
From day 4 to day 5, I returned to my little base in the Sika Woods with Spider Queen at my side. It's not much, but it's home.
It looks amazing to me, Zozo. Musicians don't make much money, and I'm super impressed by this. Do you want me to sleep on the floor?
What? No way! I'm gonna build you your own room. So that's exactly what I did. I gathered up enough wood to make Spider Queen her own special room where she could jam out all she liked.
Oh, Zozo, you're the best. I couldn't be happier.
Take a second to hide in there. I think I can hear another bubble monster coming towards us. Spider Queen hid away inside the room I'd made for her as I went out to battle the bubble monster.
Piglet sends her regards. We're gonna destroy you for her, one way or another, or she's gonna do it herself.
She's gonna need to destroy me herself, because there's no way you're up to the task, Bubble Boy. With my new stone sword, the bubble monster didn't stand a chance. He was soon defeated, and I returned to Spider Queen. It's okay, the bubble monster is gone now. You're safe.
We are the champions! Yay! Thank you for saving us, Zozo. Here, have one of my guitars. It plays music while you fight with it.
Spider Queen gave me the guitar, and I immediately equipped it. Whoa, this is cool as heck.
Oh yeah, we will rock you.
On day 6, I started the day with the wholesome act of sheep gathering, just in case I need the wool for a new Spidey suit. I wandered into the woods, and after a long time, emerged from them, seeing a road. Whoa, where am I? I followed the road and soon found myself in a cul-de-sac with some really cool and colorful houses nearby. Is that a flying orange? At the base of the flying orange, I saw some sheep wandering around, just what I was looking for. I started to round up the sheep when an orange boy came bounding out of the orange at me.
Get away from my sheep, you costume creep!
Whoa, hang on a second. I didn't want to hurt him, but he wouldn't listen to me.
Richie, what are you doing? Leave that guy alone.
Yeah, Richie, he didn't know those were your sheep.
Richie stopped chasing me as 3 more characters, one of which looked like a bear, came running over to me.
Max, do you know who this guy is? It looks like he might be dangerous.
Relax, Beast. I'm sure he's fine. Whoa, that suit is awesome. Did you invent that? I'm something of a scientist myself.
You guys are being so rude. What's your name? I'm Sky. This is Beast, Max, and Richie.
I'm Zozo, and yeah, this is my Spidey suit. One of the icy variety anyway. What are you guys doing out here? But before they could answer, I saw the last person I wanted to see. It was Pigless. She had found me, and she was wielding a huge, terrifying mace.
Like my new hardware, Spider-Man? This mace is one of the most powerful weapons out there. Perfect for squishing a nasty little bug like you.
Whoa, who is the little piggy?
Max, don't provoke her. Can't you see what she's holding?
Hey, who do you think you are talking to our new friend like that?
Oh, glad to know there's no hard feelings about the sheep. This is Pigless Polly. She kinda wants to destroy me.
Enough jibber-jabber. I'll squash all of you then.
Yeah, we'd like to see you try.
We're not scared of you.
Max threw down a mysterious item on the ground, and a bunch of armor appeared out of it. His friends suddenly put on armor that matched their colors, along with some matching swords.
Fine. No need to ruin a perfectly good neighborhood. But mark my words, Spidey. I'll find you again, and I'll be stronger than ever.
Pigless Polly turned and ran, leaving me alone with Max and his friends. Whoa, guys, thanks for the help. I could use you guys back at my base.
That sounds really fun, but I don't think we can make it. To answer your question from before about what we're doing here, I'm a YouTuber, and I document all the crazy adventures my friends and I go on.
Yeah, if you've got some days to spare, you should hang out with us.
You know, I could actually use a couple days to lay low after that encounter. Let's do it! From day 7 to day 8, well, actually, you'll just have to click the link in the description to watch what I did on days 7 and 8 with Max and his friends. Our adventure is just in English though, but it was super fun. And if you watch, be sure to leave a comment on his video to let him know I sent you. From day 9 to day 10, I was on my way back to my base with some sheep as a gift from Richie. When I arrived, Spider Queen came running over to talk to me.
I've been building, Zozo. Come, check it out.
She'd been building a lot, in fact. One of the first things I'd seen was the statue she'd been working on to inspire me. I couldn't tell what it was yet, but I was very excited to find out. Do you have any ideas? Let me know down in the comments. And the statue wasn't all. She'd also been working on some new buildings and upgrades for the base itself, including a storage room for all of our gear, a training room for practicing our skills, and a furnace for smelting ore into ingots. I'm so glad to have you here, Spider Queen.
And I'm grateful to have you here as a friend. You're the best friend I've ever had, Zozo.
Last thing I did for the day was set up a basic sheep pen and went to bed. From day 11 to day 12, Spider Queen and I relaxed while she practiced her music. I've been wondering, why do you think Pigless Polly believes I'm her Spider-Man? How can there even be more than one Spider-Man?
I've got a theory about that, actually. I think when you spawned, it created a dimensional rift that sent this universe's Spider-Man into your native dimension while bringing you here, like a big cross-dimensional swap.
Whoa, that's wild! How can you know all this when you're just a one-spider tribute band? No offense, of course.
I actually have a degree in trans-dimensional physics. It's more of a hobby thing, really. Being a Queen tribute act is my real ambition.
From day 13 to day 15, I returned to the beautiful Jacaranda Forest with a plan in mind. Defeat that dastardly Barry B. Benson, the mutated bee. He's gotta be around here somewhere. I mean, he's so aggro, I imagine he'll come looking for me. And I was right. After a little more searching, Barry the mutated bee ran in and prepared to attack me.
There you are! You've been due for a good thrashing, Zozo! I still haven't forgiven you for your trespasses against me earlier!
I still don't fully understand what I did, but if we've got to fight, let's just get it over with and fight!
Finally, you're making some sense!
And so, our battle began. I battered him with my guitar until he submitted, but I decided against finishing him off because honestly, I felt sorry for him. Go talk to your ex-wife, Barry. You clearly have some pent-up anger issues, and you're not gonna solve them by beating up random strangers.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry for all the trouble, Zozo.
And with that, he left. But my act of kindness and mercy gave me some XP to level up, getting 30 hearts, getting bigger and stronger, and getting a web shooter, which I could use to shoot webs. About time. I wonder. Whoa, I can also ride the webs as they fly through the air. Awesome! At long last, some real Spider-Man powers. This is great! From day 16 to day 19, I decided that I couldn't battle every baddie with just a guitar, so I went down into the nearest mining cavern to find some iron ore. Spider-Man wants his hands on some iron, man. And my catchy theme song worked, because I did manage to find a vein of iron ore and immediately started mining it. This seems like about enough to make the tools I want. Time to head back to my base. But on the way out of the mining cave, I saw a dangerous zombie spoiner standing in my way. But wait, this is a perfect opportunity to try out my new web shooter. I started throwing down cobwebs, trapping the zombie spoiner in place and slowing him down to a crawl. With him lodged in place, it was easy to finish him off with my rockin' guitar. Yeah, that power is gonna be really useful. After that, I went back to my base and smelted the ore in my furnace until I had just enough ingots to make a metal sword and a metal pickaxe, axe, and some boots. This has been an extremely successful excursion. From day 20 to day 22, I was having the most amazing dream when I was suddenly woken up by Spider Queen standing anxiously next to my bed.
Zozo, I'm sorry to wake you up, but something really scary is happening.
Oh no, what's that?
I was playing Bohemian Rhapsody a little too loudly, and I think Piglet's heard me. Long story short, she's standing outside.
What?
Now I think we need to fight her.
It's too dangerous for you, Spider Queen. Stay in here. I'll go and face her alone. And that's exactly what I did. I got out of bed and ran out to battle Piglet, who was still wielding her terrifying mace.
There you are, Spider-Man. Not so tough with all your colorful friends no longer around. It's time for you to meet your doom.
I keep telling you, I'm not the Spider-Man you're looking for. I come from a different dimension. I'm the ICE Spider-Man.
Well, even if you aren't my Spider-Man, I'll still settle for getting to destroy a Spider-Man. And you'll do just fine.
If your mind's made up, then I guess we better fight! And we did, but this time, I had a way better chance. I threw down some cobwebs immediately, trapping Piglet in place before pulling out my iron sword and going to town. In the end, she broke free from the cobwebs, but she seemed startled.
You're stronger than I remember. I don't have time for this. We'll battle again soon, and next time you won't be so lucky.
She fled after that, leaving me feeling stronger and more confident than ever. If I keep getting stronger, I think I can finally take her. From day 23 to day 26, I spent some time at my base, calmly collecting myself and spinning together a new addition to my spider suit. I used the wool from the sheep I got from Richie and some emu feathers that were laying on the ground to weave some Outback leggings. With these, I could move faster and dodge out of the way of projectiles. Now I've really got the agility of a spider. It wouldn't be perfect. There was only about a 45% chance I'd be able to avoid oncoming attacks, but it was the edge I would need in my next battle with Piglet. And if you think this adventure is getting wild, then you should search for more videos and see more of my Minecraft challenges. Just type ZOZO into the search bar up above. From day 27 to day 31, while I was still hunkered down at the base in the secret woods, I noticed Spider Queen seemed to be struggling with her statue. What's wrong, Spider Queen?
Zozo, I just feel so under pressure. It's pushing down on me. I want to get the statue finished, but I'm missing a very key component.
Hey, it's okay. You've been doing great so far. Here, why don't I help you out? What's this component you need to add to your statue?
I just need some redstone blocks.
Say no more. I'll go and fetch some.
Thank you, Zozo.
I ventured off to track down large quantities of redstone, making my way towards the Twilight Valley. This place was a lot darker than the other areas I had visited. The shadows were the perfect cover for some bubble monsters to sneak up and ambush me.
There he is! Get him! Piglet's orders!
Hey, come on, guys. Surely there's a peaceful way around this. Piglet can't be paying you that much.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby. Let's go. Get a home run!
Jerry, quiet down. Sorry, he gets a little excited about baseball. Oh, hey, where'd he go?
Over here, Bubble Brain. I turned the shadows to my advantage and struck the bubble monsters in place with my cobweb attacks. They tried to swipe at me from the spots they were stuck to, but a few swinging smashes with my slammin' six strings and their bubbles were burst. And just my luck, nearby there was a large deposit of redstone ore, so I gathered it up for Spider Queen. From day 32 to day 35, I continued patrolling around the Twilight Valley for any more signs of trouble, along with any more useful resources I could bring back. And while I was wandering around, I overheard the sound of distressed wailing.
Help! Oh, won't someone help me? I'm far too important to need to ask for help.
Hey there, who are you?
Oh, what a rather humorous joke. Quite amusing, yes, imagine not knowing who I am. Why, you've cheered me up somewhat, small spidery peasant.
I wasn't kidding. I don't know who you are.
Don't know? How insulting. I am royalty. I am the king pig, pig-headed head of the pig-head monarchy.
Oh, my bad. Are you needing help with something?
Well, it's about time you offered. My benefactor, the rich mummy, has run afoul of a hairy troll. And since he provides me with a lion's share of his wealth, I'm distraught. He's not even written me into his will yet, so I won't get any of his gold if that troll smashes him.
You, want me to go save him? Yeah, I'm a superhero after all.
Oh, a hero of the common folk. How quaint. Yes, on you go, Spider Boy.
It's Spider-Man! ICE Spiderman! From day 36 to day 39, I searched the Twilight Valley for any signs of this rich mummy, and eventually came across my first sign of where he might be, a troll's mini base. I watched from a distance, and it looked like the hairy troll was guarding the front entrance. If I tried to just walk up, he could smash me to spider smithereens. So I had to think up a strategy. How was I going to get in there? I'd need to take the troll out, but attacking head-on was a bad idea. Sneaking around the back? It could work, but it might take too long, and the rich mummy might be doomed if the troll got hungry before I could reach him. Think, Zozo, think! You can do whatever a spider can. Oh, could I climb in? I tried on a nearby tree, but I couldn't stick to it. No climbing up walls for me, that stinks. I could ride my web shooter, but he will spot me immediately. That's not gonna work either. Maybe my best option was to look for another way in. From day 40 to day 43, I made my way around the outskirts of the troll's mini base, and lucky for me, there was a back entrance. Inside, I found the rich mummy trapped in a cage.
Who might you be? Oh no, you're not with him, are you? Oh ghastly, you must be his torturer.
No, I'm ICE Spiderman. I'm here to save you. Just keep it down. I need to clear the way ahead. Then I'll come back for you. I snuck through the base and spotted the hairy troll. He didn't see me coming, so I used the element of surprise while I had it. I spun my webs to catch him in place, but he was strong enough to tear himself free. It barely slowed him down. He swung his mace at me, and I was luckily able to dodge out of the way just in the nick of time, thanks to my Outback leggings. I retaliated by swinging my guitar at him, but the hairy troll had a high resistance to rock. Thinking quick, I used my webs again, not to get him stuck, but to blind him. It worked! I could get close enough to bash the hairy troll with my guitar and defeated him! With the troll out of the way, I went back to free the rich mummy and led him back to the king pig.
Ah, Reginald, so good to see you. Thank you for your assistance, Spider Peasant. You may leave my mighty presence now.
So much for grateful. From day 44 to day 49, I finally made my way back to base to deliver the redstone blocks that Spider Queen needed.
This is perfect. Exactly what I needed. Zozo, you make the rockin' world go round.
It was no problem, Spider Queen. Can't wait to see what you do with it. It was then that I took a look around the base. The whole place was in a real sorry state. I decided now that I had a moment to spare, I'd dedicate some time to cleaning up and improving the base with some defensive upgrades. I built a sturdy perimeter wall to stop any intruders from getting in. By the time I was done, Spider Queen had something to show me.
Ta-da! Open your eyes, look up to the sky, and see!
Wow, that's really something, Spider Queen.
Thanks, Zozo. It's not quite done, but it'll rock you when it's finished.
From day 50 to day 53, I awoke to the sound of a struggle. Spider Queen was in trouble.
Zozo, help! Help me! I want to break free! I've got to break free!
I rushed into action, but as soon as I stepped out of my room, I was greeted by a gang of bubble monsters.
Rise and shine, ICE Spiderman.
I didn't order room service, guys.
It's on the house, no charge. Speaking of, boys, charge!
Outside, Piglet had arrived, and she was sending in hordes of her bubble minions to attack. I hadn't even had breakfast yet, and now I had to fend off monsters with all of my might. Good thing I got in my 8 hours last night.
We got that Spidey you're looking for, boss.
You idiots! That's the musician! I wanted the little brat in blue pajamas, not Leggy Mercury here!
I was still battling the bubble monsters. By the time I had finally burst every last one of them, I had gained enough XP to level up. Wow, I've heard some people start their day with a workout, but this is insane! I now had 50 hearts and a new ability, Ice Blast! I was quickly becoming the coolest superhero around. there was one problem. I'd lost my musical guest in the process. From day 54 to day 57, I decided my only option was to return to the pompous King Pig and see if he knew where I could find Pigless. King Pig, Pigless. I wonder if the two of them are related. Yeah, probably just a coincidence. A short journey later, and I was back in the Twilight Valley. All I had to do was listen out for the sounds of stolen moneybags, and sure enough, I found the monarch in front of his castle.
Oh, you're back. Spider something, wasn't it? Did one of my servants send for you?
No, I'm here to ask you some questions. And since you didn't even thank me for saving your friend, I'd say you at least owe me a little bit of your time.
My time is very valuable, like all the jewels and gemstones my servants brought me from far away. But I suppose I have a few moments to spare.
My friend was taken by Pigless. I need to know where she is.
Pigless? Pigless? Do not speak that name.
You know each other then?
She's a traitor to the crown, a deserter. She stormed out when she figured out she'd never be next in line to the throne. Gave her a real complex. She feels like she's better than everyone, but still not good enough if she can't rule.
Wait, so does that make her your sister? Or no, cousin? Royalty is confusing. Kinda seems like a lot of fuss over nothing.
Nothing? How dare you? We uphold a proud and noble tradition of theft. A tradition of tradition.
So where is Pigless now?
I don't keep in touch. She said some very hurtful things about me which weren't at all true. But last I heard, she resides in Red Rock Mountain, although the terrain is harsh, so you won't make it there in one piece with so little armor.
From day 58 to day 62, I decided to follow up on the one useful piece of advice the King Pig had to offer and set about crafting myself some tough new armor. I scoured the area until I found a cave that led to a mine tucked away deep underground, and in the mine was plenty of what I needed: diamonds! I managed to find quite a few, but not enough to make the armor I needed. Not wanting them to go to waste, I forged them into a mighty diamond sword for stronger attacks, and a matching pickaxe to make mining quicker and easier. I didn't have to wait long to test them out either. As it turned out, the mine belonged to a skeleton jackal who was none too happy about me mining his diamonds. But it didn't take more than a few swings of my shiny new blade to settle our differences. From day 63 to day 66, I decided, rather than rushing straight back into danger and venturing up the treacherous terrain of the Red Rock Mountain, I hiked back to base to catch up on some rest. That way, I could be ready and refreshed when I set off to save Spider Queen. But speaking of Spider Queen, when I returned to base, I was met with a saddening sight. Her statue left unfinished now that she'd been captured. I thought about completing it in her honor, but it felt too much like admitting defeat before I'd even tried to save her. So instead, I left it as it was. She could have the satisfaction of finishing her hard work once I'd gotten her back in one piece. Knowing her, she was probably looking forward to it. I settled in for the night, right in Spider Queen's bedroom. That way, I feel closer to her. Watch till the end of the video to see if we manage to save her. And why not click that subscribe button down below to stay tuned for future videos. From day 67 to day 70, I made my long journey towards Red Rock Mountain, scaling the dangerous Crimson Cliff Face and being careful to watch my step. One fall, and it could be all over. As I descended from the peaks, I spotted a path. I followed until I saw the looming structure that Pigless had made into her base, and the whole place was massive and absolutely crawling with her minions. While I was still scoping it out from a distance, I thought back to my mission to save the rich zombie from that hairy troll, and how I hadn't been able to enter through the front, but had better luck looking for a second way in. So I tried the same tactic again, heading around, scaling massive mountains, swinging from one hilltop to the other until I made it to the side of the base. I saw my entry point, an opening in the side. I aimed carefully and shot my web shooter to make my way in, and I landed right in the middle of a group of bubble monsters.
It's the spider! Get this sucker, boys!
Heck of a way to roll out the welcome wagon. You treat all your guests like this? I swung my diamond sword and instantly slashed the nearest two, taking care of the next with a well-timed ice blast. Another hit from my sword, and he was shattered to pieces, while the others were quickly stuck fast with my webs right where I could strike at them. From day 71 to day 74, I snuck around the inside of Red Rock Mountain Base, making sure to keep out of the path of Pigless's many minions. But there was one enemy I recognized.
Halt in the name of Pigless! Oh wait, it's you, Zozo!
Barry? Barry B. Benson?
Black and yellow, hello!
How are things with you and your wife?
Hard to say. We're still going through it. We're planning to go see a concert soon. She likes jazz.
That's good. So you're not gonna attack me?
Nah, you're good. I just need to think about some things.
It wasn't hard to see that his heart really wasn't all in on working for Pigless.
It's a good job. I mean, there's not a lot of coverage, no dental, stuff like that.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, sure. Listen, I shouldn't tell you this, but check the chest in the room up ahead. There's some handy stuff in there.
I went to investigate and found myself the proud owner of a full set of diamond armor. Whoa, Barry wasn't kidding. Now I can match the speed of a spider with the protection of diamonds. From day 75 to day 78, I explored a little more and found where Pigless had left Spider Queen trapped in a big cage. She'd clearly been singing to herself to keep her spirits up, but by now, she was just yelling in case any of the bubble monsters were passing by.
I just gotta get out of this prison cell. Someday I'm gonna be free. Oh, look, I want to break free. I've got to break free. Now? Please? Easy come, easy go. Will you let me go?
Now's good for you then?
Zozo! Oh, you're a sight for sore eyes. I've been so bored cooped up here. I want to get out and have fun. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike.
You have a bike? But you've got 8 legs.
I think it's a metaphor or something.
Well, I've got just the thing to break you out.
Gunpowder? Gelatine? Dynamite with a laser beam?
Close. It's a diamond sword. With a swing of the blade, I cracked open the lock and sent Spider Queen back to our base. She rushed off, and not a moment too soon, because Pigless had found me.
You! First you intrude on my dimension, then you intrude on my home. I'm going to squash you at long last, puny spider!
Pigless came at me, but I was able to freeze one of her feet in place, then web her hands to slow her down. I leaped close to swipe at her with my diamond sword, but just when I thought I had the upper hand, she knocked me back with a powerful hit. I decided to escape while I still could, and dashed out of the base. From day 79 to day 84, I was exhausted from the fighting, so the Spider Queen offered to give me a ride, which was really nice of her. We managed to make our way back to safety, but little did I realize that Pigless had had enough.
That little wretch! How dare he try to defy my right to rule! He and the rest of this overworld will soon see that they shouldn't have messed with Pigless!
With that, Pigless used a powerful potion to make herself even stronger. Now she'd be an even tougher fight when it came time for me to face off with her again. From day 85 to day 89, we arrived back at base, and my good friend Spider Queen, whose ride was surprisingly comfy, was super happy to be free from Pigless's cage.
Pigless thought she could stop me and spit in my eye. But we did it. We are the champions, my friend.
We sure are.
Look, I managed to swipe this from one of the guards at Pigless's base. I thought I could use it to break free, but instead, I was just screaming, "Let me out!" Anyway, I think you should have it. You're gonna take on the world someday.
Spider Queen handed me the upgrade. It was a fire aspect and sharpness 2 enchantment. I immediately went to apply it to my diamond sword to deal some extra damage. Now, I had the power of ice, fire, and spiders on my side. Once I was done improving my sword, I returned to find Spider Queen putting the final finishing touches on her statue.
Heyo, are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Then may I present to you my masterpiece. I call it Zohemian Rhapsody.
Zohemian?
Named after you, of course, Zozo. I can't keep living without you by my side.
I like it. Makes me feel ready to take on Pigless one last time.
Well, you better be careful. I saw she had a whole cabinet of potions to make her stronger. The bubble monsters steal them from King Pig's cellar and bring them back to her.
Huh, maybe I can intercept them and take a potion for myself. That ought to level the playing field.
And that way, you'll keep on fighting to the end.
From day 90 to day 94, I headed back towards the Twilight Valley and followed a trail that the bubble monsters had left from the King Pig's palace to a small camp they had set up nearby. Just like Spider Queen had told me, they had a potion of power, but it must have been the last one left.
Yep, that's the last one left. Hey, boss, question. If Pigless had us stealing all these here potions, why doesn't she give each of us one? Then we'd all be a tougher army, and she could overthrow the King Pig.
We're not about that kind of talking. The potions are for Pigless.
I webbed the closest bubble monster in place, slashing the other with my newly enchanted fire aspect diamond sword. The heat popped them in an instant, and before the other two could get free, I cut them down too. I retrieved the last potion of power, but waited before I drank it. The King Pig's palace was only a short walk away, and maybe I could get one last favor from him. From day 95 to day 97, I walked right up to the King Pig's throne and showed him what I had recovered. You know what this is?
Why, that's an excellent vintage. 1 glass is worth the yearly wages of my entire staff. You'd better put that back in the cellar with the others before I have you executed.
There are no more others. Pigless had been sending her minions in to steal them from right under your nose.
Pigless? Something must be done about that treasonous traitor.
I'll take care of Pigless, but only if you let me keep this potion and be way nicer to your servants. In fact, stop hoarding all this fancy expensive stuff. Learn to share.
Share? What is that? I'm not familiar with this common folk slang.
You have a whole library here. Look it up in the dictionary. After a few moments of learning what sharing was, the king pig returned.
Preposterous! If how do I pronounce it? Shared, I wouldn't have all my power and riches.
But that might not be such a bad thing, if even a fraction of your wealth might improve the lives of other people.
So if I, say for example, just gave you this netherite armor, then how would that improve anyone's life?
Well, with that, I could take down Pigless, which is also what you want, isn't it?
Yes, but confound it! What commoner wizardry is this? You've confused me. I need to go lie down. Here, this is yours, I think.
With that, the king pig handed over an entire set of netherite armor. Now I had the most powerful protection against Pigless. On day 98, I returned to my base to make the final preparations I needed to ahead of my big battle with Pigless. I had my diamond sword at the ready, enchanted with a powerful fire aspect for added flaming damage. I had my netherite armor on, ready to defend me against oncoming damage. Plus, I had my ICE Spider-Man powers at the ready. I even tested out my ice blasts and cobwebs, and they were ready to go. Before leaving though, I stopped by Spider Queen's room to tell her how to get to Max's neighborhood. If I didn't make it back, she would need a safe place to live. Now there was just one question. What was going to happen next? If you think you know, then leave your answers in the comments. And while you're there, tell us what video you'd like to see next. On day 99, I made my final journey to Red Rock Mountain and stopped just outside the entrance to Pigless's base. It was quiet, too quiet. All her minions seemed to have run off in fear. If they were that scared of her new, more powerful form, then I needed to be prepared. I drank the potion of power, and this upgraded me to my final form. I now had a full 100 hearts, and the last of my Ice Spider-Man powers were finally unlocked. I could climb walls. Ready for anything, I headed inside to find Pigless waiting for me. She was much bigger and stronger than before, and way more vicious.
I was meant to rule this overworld. It's my birthright, and I won't have you meddling in my destiny any longer.
Oh, I don't think so, Pigless. The battle was on. Pigless hurled a javelin at me, but thanks to my super spider agility and my outback leggings, I dodged right out of the way, then climbed up the nearby wall so I was out of her reach. From my vantage point, I fired ice blasts and cobwebs at her, trying to slow her down.
Get down from there!
She threw another javelin, and I went to get out of the way, but I timed it wrong and fell. I quickly picked myself up and got back into the fight. It was the toughest of battles, but Pigless seemed to be overexerting herself. I managed to keep dodging away, climbing the walls, and using my webs to slow her down, until finally I landed an ice blast.
This is too cold.
Don't worry, my sword has a fire aspect enchantment. It should help turn up the heat. With a mighty strike, I had done it! Pigless was defeated at last! On day 100, instead of returning to my base, I returned victorious to Max's neighborhood, where I was immediately greeted by Spider Queen, as well as Max and his friends.
Another one bites the dust. Great work, Zozo. I knew you were gonna be a big man someday.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you, Spider Queen.
Oh, you're too kind. You're the champion here, Zozo.
Spider Queen really livened the place up with her music, but we're glad to see you made it back in one piece.
Me too, and everyone should click the link in the description to check out the adventure we went on together. Then, much to my surprise, the King Pig also showed up.
Zozo, my boy, you didn't tell me that sharing also came with this delightful feeling. I don't really know what it's called, but seeing the smiles on my servants' faces give me one of those, what are they called? Emotions?
You mean you feel happy?
That's the ticket, and I've been reading up too. Did you know that all the traditions of the pighead monarchy are centuries old? It seems so silly to still be upholding them.
So what did you do?
Oh, I gave my palace and all my riches to my servants. Except they aren't my servants anymore, just people. And so am I. Look at me, one of the people. Now, who is your charming eight-legged friend here?
Well, you might be a former King Pig, but she's Spider Queen.
And we will rock you.